put on the computer. Yeah, man. So what you got, man? Talk to me. How's a brother?
I'm good. I'm good, Jay. All I can say is you the man.
Yeah, man. I found out. I just they told me about this market internals ADD like about 3 weeks ago. But you see how I go into depth. I think yesterday somebody was asking me about CPI data and like how do you know? I don't think people realize the tools that we have in the trading market and how to take advantage of it because I don't mean to be I don't mean to be like non-political or something like that, but we as a people have been bamboozled. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, it's not yellow, white, red, brown, but finances has never been. I know finances have never been my family. So, and this is like, this can break generational curses, man. Really can. So, I mean, it's deep, man. If you're going to have another Zoom for deepness, but let's keep it in mind of the NOS and everything, man. This market internals, man. The people that have the tools don't want you to know. They don't want you to learn. They don't want you to have the power upper hand because they don't want all real truth. Because the way they make the money is off people losing money. If you start winning, if like say 1 million retail traders started winning, then market makers have to change their thing up. They have to have losers. You can't have 1 million winners. You just can't. But you can win at a certain point where you can get paid off the market if you understand how the market works. That's the biggest thing. You have to do research. Some people, that's what I found out. Some people do research and some people don't. Some people want it handed to them on a platter, you know. So I think you have to take it from everyone's perspective. And you don't really need a lot of indicators. I think I was playing around. I'm one of those guys that like to play around with different indicators. You know, and you can have a chart that has a whole bunch of stuff on it, or you can have a chart that has nothing on it. You know, but it's all the same. It all boils down to the same thing. How's price moving? But not like UCAD was perfect. I was telling somebody today. I said, whoever was trading UCAD should have got paid. If they didn't get paid, then they shouldn't be trading. And not to be mean, but the news was today on UCAD. UCAD was today. Was it UCAD today? Yeah, CAD was CAD all day today. Even if you was doing a demo, you could have made Super Bank on the USD news, CAD news. I mean, you got CAD news that came out at 10. You got USD news that came out at 8:30, and it came back at 11 o'clock. So there's some AUD news. I'm gonna trade this. Who wants to trade this with me? This is gonna be a nice little move here. You're gonna get 30 pips off this right here. 9:30. I was going to London today too, but this is great news. If you can trade AUD, you can get paid 9:30. So AUD JPY is going to move, and if you catch it on the right time, you'll get 30 pips quick. This is a winning trade right here. Whoever's going to be trading Asian could get paid right in here. But that's just neither here nor there. But remember, I was telling you that this NAS, it filled the gap, man. Look at this. Where's my chart at? I think I had this someplace right, didn't I? It filled the gap. I think I had it here. Can't remember what I had it. Let's see. Yeah, it's filled the gap, man. It's filled the gap perfectly. What was it at here? I was saying this. I think I had this set up where on this market internals, I had it at 1800, right? So here's 1800 here. So let's pause 1800 there. It's 1800 here. 1800 right there. Then I had negative 1800, right? Down here, and it filled the gap. It's filled the gap, just like I said it would this morning. So this is negative 1800 here, right? So this gap got filled today. Price filled this gap. So that's what it did here. See? So where did it open up? So it closed here, right? Closed here yesterday. This is where it closed right there, right? and it opened up right here. It opened up right here. So it gapped down. So the market gapped down here, right? Gapped down, right? And then it has to open up. So since the market gapped down, it has to open up. So this would have been buys all day here, see? Had to fill the gap up. So you had that, they had that long, you had this, the CPI data came out 8:30, and you had all this stuff come out. And then after the news was done, it started to fill back up. So here's the gap right here. If you didn't get the CPI news, you could have traded right here in the gap. This is the gap right here. Gap must be filled. And this was the perfect trade here for Nas. Must be filled. All you had to do is wait. If you waited for the gap to be filled, you see the gap has been filled. This is a big gap. If it got filled up, now it's up here somewhere. That's that little run up here. This was a perfect trade right here. Because it gapped down. So you know it's in the basement. It was down here in the basement. So I was telling you before was that here. So I think the philosophy is if the man's in the basement, price has to come up. If it's gapping down, like this is a gap down. If the man's in the attic, if it starts above 1800 and it stays above 1800, then it's going to be a bullish day, unless it comes down. But so he's the gap over, gap down. So the market was up here. So this huge gap is right there because it closed up here. So you have all this room in here that you have to fill, and it filled everything. Look at that. So this would have been a trade that you could have taken right here, where it gapped up right here and taken up. That's 200 pips right there. 300 pips, 200 pips. You can get 200 pips, 200 points in NAS and get out. That's all you need right there. This was a perfect setup. It was perfect. Did anybody take that trade? Did anybody take any trade today?
I took the buy.
You did? Oh, it's good.
I did.
Okay, that's good. You want to share your philosophy on what made you do that? Does anybody want to share a testimony on what they did today? Anybody?
Well, for me, once we waited on the news this morning, and I just kind of went off of what you said too and used that as confluence. When I started to see the rejection on the lower time frame at that level, then I determined that it would be good to go ahead and get in for the buy.
Okay. Anybody else? Chicago. Where are people from?
New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Chicago for me.
Oh, somebody's right. I'm down here in Orlando, Florida, so.
Hey,
Virginia.
Yeah.
Hey, J Mob.
Yeah. What's up, man? What's up, Mike? My man, Mike.
Just want to say something real quick to the people on the Zoom.
Yeah, go.
I tell y'all, now is not the time to be silent and be quiet. Now's the time to ask all the questions you have, because J Mob is willing to share his experience with us. You know, someone told me if you really want your pastor to preach a really good word, sometimes you have to be a part of that experience. You know, if your pastor got it in them, you can help bring it out of them with your response, with the questions you ask. And so I'm telling you, we've been blessed to have J Bob. I don't know if he's a pastor or not, but as it relates to the Forex, as it relates to Forex, you know, you kind of get my analogy. So, you know, don't be shy, step up. We were all there at one point where we didn't know a whole lot about trading. And those who asked the questions got the answers, which expedited their knowledge to the point where they're now independent traders. So don't be shy. No question is a dumb question.
Here's a question: how do you get people to come out of the show? Like, how does one do that? Because I've been on calls.
Tried, Jay. I just gave
I know. I've been on calls before. I've been on calls before with 200 people, and there's only 3 people talking, and everyone else is just listening. Okay, what are they listening to? Like, they're asking questions. It's like a class. If
So
you go to class,
I have a question.
go.
So when I look at your chart, like I understand a number of things, but I see you have a number of indicators.
Yes.
So sometimes when you speak about it or when you post it, it can be a little bit confusing because there's a lot going on.
Okay.
So I know that it may take more than one time to explain what your chart, how's your chart arranged and what is what. But if you could just, I guess start piece by explaining. I understand like, the higher highs, the lower lows, I understand that part. But then you see like a lot of different shades and a lot of different things. So it can kind of be confusing a little bit.
Okay. No, that's legit. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. It's naked right now, right?
Yes.
So what do we start here? What do I have to do? What would you do? How would I trade this? What am I doing? What would I look for? What would be the first thing for me to try to do?
You look for the previous highs and lows.
Okay. Okay, let me write that out. Can you see this little sticky pad here? You see this little sticky pad here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good question. By the way, you said look for highs and lows, right? That's perfect. Okay, so now I'm manually doing this, right? I'm manually doing this. The indicators do it for me, but they have preciseness. But let's not go there. So how do I do that? How do I look for the lows and the highs? Does everyone understand what she's saying? What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Pamela.
Oh, how you doing, Pamela? Don't be how would I look for the lows and highs of this chart here? If I'm on a 15-minute time frame. What I need to do. If you look at the chart, where's the highs and lows at here? Let's look
The
at
highs
that.
and lows. You look at the
Peaks and
wick.
valleys.
Say it again. I didn't hear. Say it again.
Your peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys, right? So if I put a line right here, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Where?
Okay, that's a good line, right? I'm just looking at this little bit here.
Yes.
I'm on a 15-minute time frame. I'm looking at this. So if I
Yes.
come here and put, let's see, let's put a line right here. Does everyone agree with this? Does everyone agree with those two
Yeah.
lines?
Yep.
I agree with that line.
Okay. Anybody, if everyone agrees with this here, put a 8 in the chat so I'll know. If you type the 8, that means you understand what Pam said. Okay, so if you put an 8 in the chat, that means you totally understand what she said. Okay, so what would the next thing I would need to do? Or what other things should I look at?
You should look at. Hold on. You should look at the lowest point as well.
Okay, so how would I do that?
You draw a line at the low. Oh, you did it already. You draw a
Yes.
line at the lowest point. Okay.
So
All right. So the next thing you do.
what would I do next? I can come here and do this. Does everyone understand what the support zone is?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the support zone? Who can break it down for me? Because I'm sure there's somebody. If you would ask me this question 3 years ago, I would have probably jumped off this call because I didn't know what it was. I was too scared to say what it was, or even I was embarrassed. There's no reason to be embarrassed.
Same here.
Okay, so how do we explain that to somebody? Break that down.
So the support zone is like, it's like the foundation. It's like being at the bottom.
The floor.
Or
Yeah, the floor. Yep, the floor.
okay,
And
perfect.
the top resistance is like the ceiling.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. How many people have worked at a job where you can only go so far because of your color or your nationality or your gender or whatever it might be?
Yeah.
So there's a floor here, ceiling here. Okay. So what do we do with this information since we've got the floor and the ceiling? I mean, what do we do with that? How do we
What do we
What
do
we
with
do?
it?
What do we do next?
I would say with that, between it, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna take a stab. We identify like the trends, whether the trend is a bullish trend or a bearish trend.
Okay. What type of trend am I on in this 15-minute time frame right now so far? Where I'm at right now in this price, where would you say the trend is?
That
And
trend, that's
yeah.
a bearish trend.
Okay. How do you determine that?
Because from the top of the ceiling down to like the support, it's going down. So that's bearish.
Okay. Okay.
Right, and it made lower highs and lower lows.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. How many people know what the trend line is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
So
Mhm.
how many people understood how when you, in math you take 2 points and makes a line? So you can have a trend down. This is a trend down here. Everybody see this? This little line here is a trend line. Taking it from the top up
Yeah.
here down to here. So this is telling me that this is a bearish trend here, right?
Right. So John, really quick, I'm
Yeah,
about to
yes.
start listening because I gotta start driving. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
sure.
listen to what you're saying to everybody.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
No worries. I don't want you to get into an accident. So we've got support, resistance, floor, ceiling, and we got trend line right here, right? Trend line right here. So what else we got? So with all these tools I have here, how do I work this?
So if you're basing it solely off the trend, then you're waiting for price to come back to that trend line and react to it. And if it's a true bearish market, then you're gonna sell it based on what it does at that trend line.
Okay, can you repeat that again for someone that didn't get that?
I was saying if you're basing it solely off the trend line, then what you're gonna do is wait for price to come back to that trend line and react to it, hopefully giving you some type of bearish pattern, and then you sell it.
How many people agree with that? If you agree with that, put us. If you agree with that,
right?
I agree with it.
if you agree with that, drop a 7 in the chat.
I do.
If you agree with that, okay, I agree with that. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna draw X. And what would you say these X's represent if I put an X here?
Entries.
Say it again, please.
That would be an entry.
Entry.
Everybody understand that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
as well as a lower high.
Can you say that again?
Please. Say it again, whoever was there, please.
Oh, the lower high point.
Lower highs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does everyone understand what lower highs and lower
Yeah.
lows are?
Yep.
Hope we
Yes.
can explain that. If I come over here, because I mean, most of the stuff you can look on YouTube, right? Not YouTube, but you can look on Google. Lower highs, right? And higher lows. If I do images, everybody understand this? See this?
So they're lower highs because the trend is downward?
Did you ask me to explain, or you said
Hey, you're breaking up.
Breaking up. Everybody see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people are familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
If you had to draw this every time, would you want to do that?
Probably not.
Nah, I wouldn't.
What? How many people would want to draw this every day?
Not I.
Okay, so boom. See that?
Yep.
You see what it automatically does? It tells you this already. See that?
Oh, the indicator, Okay,
See this?
gotcha.
You see this? See how I'm doing it now? You say, somebody said that I have a lot of stuff going on. I get that. But it's like when you making your food, you put everything on it and they're like, oh, I got this mess. But it came from somewhere. So let's break it down. If I do this here, yeah, there's a whole bunch in here. But what does it tell you? This here, right? What if I had to draw this? So let's say I didn't have the indicators and I had to come over here and draw them. So what if I had to do that? Okay, take this off. So I had to draw them, right? So this simply allows me to see what I have, right? And look how quickly, look at what I drew with no indicators, right? And this is going to be a higher high or lower high right there, right? You see right there's a higher high right there, right? There's a lower low down here. Isn't that the same thing down here? Lower low right down there, right? It's down here at the end of this trend here, right?
Right.
This has a lower low down here. Right, let me move it over here real quick so I can see what's going on. So I went in here, not this one. What was this one here? This one here. This one will go here. That's the one we're working with. So that's what I have there. So I got a resistance ceiling. So with this information, how do I trade that? Go back out here. So this is what I need to look for. You're waiting for price to come here and here and here. So where are we at right now? And look where not just closed right now because the close is 5 o'clock, but it'll open back up 6. What do we do here? What would you do to trade this? What would you wait for?
I will wait for price to go to that trend line.
Right. So so if you come here, you want the price to come here, right? And form another X here, right? And then you would take it down to the next support level, right? Where's the next support level going to be? Either here, right? This one here. This is a nice support level right here. Would you agree? Right here,
Yeah, that would be safe.
right? Safe, right? Or if it breaks it, you come down here because
Yeah.
rejections. So
Right.
that's TP1 and TP2. This is how they get these TP2s, right?
Yeah.
But you could go over here and say, well, let's look over here. It might stall over here someplace, right there. But that's kind of the same area. So you could say it's safe to say that this is a nice little area for you to take your trade to. And if you are fortunate, you can go to TP3 down here. Okay. So TP1's here, 2 and 3. And then at this point, what would you say the price is going to do? If it comes down to here, what would you be looking for it to do?
You're looking for it to reverse.
Reject and go back up.
Reverse, go back up, right? So at some point in time, what you could do is you could put a pending order in here. Because if it breaks this, right? You're looking for it to come back to retest it. So I wanted to come back here and retest it. If you can get a retest on a because the retest, if it's retesting the zone, you retest here, then that's the best way. Sometimes I might not retest and take it back up to the trend line. But you hoping that you see what it came down here, right? It was over here. I'm put X here. So it came here, came up here, came here, came all the way down here, played around this zone, then it went all the way back up, came all the way down here. Now it's moving this way back up now. So you would think that you would take it back all the way up. But that's how I would trade these. If you're looking for trades, you trade on the X's, right? Here's an X right there. These are your entry points. These are the only places you want to get in the market. Now here's another one here, see? Here's a nice little zone right there. Look at that right there. That's that one right there, see? That's a major zone right there. If I delete this line, and then this is a line here, right? So let me get rid of that line right there. That's the line that we said TP2 was, TP1 was, but look at this line here. it played perfectly right there, right?
Mhm.
It played resistance and support. So look at these X's. X's here, boom. X's here, perfect entry right there, boom. Perfect entry right here, boom. Right? Perfect entry right here to upside, because you're getting a retracement. So you could take it back over here. And this is where we are currently, right here. So this is what someone said. I think it's Pam, you want to come here, right? And move it up there, take it down there. That's the trading plan for Nas. That's what you want here. So if I bring my ellipse are entries, right? So those are here, entry point right there, right? Let me put this in drawing mode. These are the entry points. These are only places you should be interested in getting in, these here. If you're getting in someplace else, you're too late. These are the entry points right here. And this is what no indicator, right? Right there. Not right there, but that's not right there, but it's in the same area. The same area right there. Delete this thing here. But these are the entry points you want to be in, you want to get into. If you're trying to get to a trade in NAS, these are your entry points. These are minimal drawdown, right? So, you know, there, over here. And then trend line, these are trend line bounces or trend line rejections, if you call it there. But if you come over here to this location here, you want this right here. Nice entry right there, boom. Nice entry right here, boom. Right there.
708.
And there's one right here. These are nice entries. This is this whole week, right? What time? The 11th, 10th? This is what? That's June. So these are 15-minute time frames, but these are what them in all of the entries you would have had. And you could have got in here. Look at this little zone. Here's a little zone right here. See this little zone right there? Rejection right there. That's kind of a tight one. But what you can do here is, this is the sell zone. So I got a sell zone here. See? So if price comes in here, it's a sell zone. So you would automatically know that if price comes to this level, you should be selling off. And so this is a double top right here. Anybody familiar with a double top?
828, 22, 145.
Yes.
What's that? What's a double top?
When price are at equal highs.
So
Or yeah.
think of it like this.
Like a M, sort of.
Think of it like this. Here's homeboy, right? Me and Mike had this conversation before. Remember that? Hey, forget about this. This is like the, did I have a police thing here? I don't know if I did or not, right? I can't remember. I had a police guy. I can't remember what it was. Damn, so I forgot about that.
It was.
I can't remember what the icon was. We were tripping. You gotta have fun with this, man. I can't remember what the icon was. That might have been him. Anyway. So let's go. Oh, we got the lady too, right? Here's the cops. The cops right there. Oh yeah, the cops right there, right? So let's say, for example, you're here, right? And then you have another man over here, right? Here's another man over here, right? So what did the man do? Let's say that this was point A, right? Point A. Point A is here, right? And let's say point B is over here. Let's go over here to point B. If I clone this, point B is over here. Let's see, point B is here. So point B, oh, I probably don't need that. That's probably bugged out. People don't understand that, but so point B is here, right? All right, so what happened? This dude here was here, right? So he traveled along here, right? He came back to here and he went all the way down, right? Kind of played around all the way down, came down to here, kind of played around, and he has finally made his way back up here, right? So when you have this, that gives you a double top because price came up twice to this level. It came here, like a retest, came here, right? Started here. And this is a retest of the level. So once you get a retest of the level, then that's probably a nice clear setup for you to take a sell down. Oh, I can probably answer that question now. We're just going over some stuff. Hang tight.
Yeah, sorry, didn't want to interrupt,
good.
but I
No, you're
think
good. You're good.
the most, yeah, I mean, the most impressive thing about your performance today, beyond the numbers, you know, we try to look at the mechanics of the swing, right, and not the results. But obviously, you cranked a bunch of home runs today. But I think from my standpoint, the biggest thing was, you know, I woke up Pacific time to the shock and awe that the news had already hit and the market had already moved. So I was looking for opportunities for LQ sweeps to the downside. And it cranked through a lot of levels, and apparently you didn't fall for any of those. But you know, with ADD negative 2000, negative 1800, negative 1200, I was looking as confirmation that I should be going to the downside, and none of them actually worked. It broke through 11. I mean, it broke through so many points. At 9:30, it opened, you know, at around 11,500. It broke through 11,549. And then subsequently 11,644, it broke through a bunch of those levels. So how did you not fall for that?
Just use a price action. I use multi-time frame analysis. I use a little bit of wisdom. I use some luck. I used everything that I could possibly get my hands on, man.
So you basically just didn't ever see the setup happen with your typical analysis.
No, I saw it happen.
Yeah.
I knew what's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I saw that gap happen, because I knew when it opened up below where it did, the 8:30 news came in, but I saw, okay, well, now it has to have a push up. So if you go back and look at the CPI data, and I think I was saying this earlier, you can kind of go through and you can find out what the results were, because it's just not the analysis, it's the news too. So if you take the CPI data, which is right here, you can go back in time and see how it reacted. So the CPI data is right here. The information is right here. July 10th, June 10th, excuse me, May 11th, April 12th, March 10th. So my question is, and this doesn't have to be anybody specific on this call, because I didn't do it, but my mentor said, you got to go back and do research, Jay. I was like, what do you mean by that? He said, you got to go back here and look at the forecast. What the forecast was, what the actual was, what the previous was. So this makes a big difference when they say the forecast was 0.7%, it's actually 1%. They're saying that, oh, this is going to be 0.7% on June 10th, and then it's actually 1%. So the CPI data comes out at 8:30 every 10th, right? Or 11th or 12th, somewhere in that area, 14, somewhere, depending on what the month falls down. But I think it might be the second Tuesday, whatever. But you literally can go back and double check this. So that's what I did. So whenever there's news like this, you should know what's going to happen on the news. You should be able to go back and tell. So let's look at this for a second. I'll come back to that for a second, but that's a good point, because I don't think people know how to read news. You can read news.
But you went bullish before the news, right?
I know.
But then after the news, it was a massive downswing.
Right.
Obviously, you sold out before that.
But
given the fact that that should have been bad news. It was expected to be spot 7, and it was a full 1.
Okay.
Point.
So if you go back to the news,
should have been negative. Yep.
It should have been negative, right? And I got back in the sell, but the initial push up, I had a good feeling. I had a 90% good feeling that it was going to go up. Now I could have been wrong, but the markets didn't tell me that. So this blew my mind. This information that my friend, my mentor told me. But let me go back. Let me put this one here. Let me clear all the charts here real quick so I can see. Actually, no, hold on. That's a good one. I'm going to keep that because I can go back to that.
I'm going back to check out the 11th.
Yeah. So let's do this right now. Let's just get everything. Does everyone understand what we're trying to do here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm clearing everything off. Okay. So this is what I do. I go and look at the news. And what does the news say? So let's go back and check it out. I'm gonna go June 10th, right? May 11th, right? I'm getting this information from Ford Factor, so it's not like I'm, creating it, pulling out of thin air. March 10th, February 10th. I go back 6 months to see. Why don't you go back to the beginning of the year, 12th, okay? All right. What time the CPI data came out today? Anybody know?
Pre-market, 8:30 a.m. Eastern,
8:30.
right? So pre-market.
8:30, right? 8:30 Eastern time. That's New York. So you have to base that on. I have to base that on your time zone.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I go here. Let's go over here, right? Oh, what's my clear chart? My clear chart is right. Had it right here when I had clear chart. Clear chart. Oh, let's clear all this junk off. Okay, everything's cleared off. I'm gonna clear everything off. Hide indicators. Here we go. All right, is it clear right now? All right, so the CPI data came out today. Is Wednesday, right? Don't need that. So on Sunday, I'm preparing myself. It's almost like playing basketball. I used to play basketball, a football. You got to prepare for the game. This is a game. This is an event. It's like you're trying to do a speech. You just can't go into the classroom and not know what you're talking about. You got to prepare for yourself, right? So I prepared myself for this because the guy was like, not the guy, but a few people asked me, how do you know it's going to go bullish? How'd you know that? How'd you know that? I said, how do I know that? Because what I did was, let me show you, where's my chart here, right? All right, so where's June 11th, June 10th? So I'm going to go to a higher time frame so I can move around a little freely. 4-hour time frame, right? So I go to the higher time frames and I go look. So I'm going to draw here. The first one, you said it was June 10th, right? So go June 10th, June 10th, June 10th, June 10th, June 10th, June 10th, right? Let's do the hour time frame. Might be a little easier. June 10th right here. Okay. June 10th at 8:30, right? I'm at 15th. June 10th is over here. June 10th, 8:30. Where we at? June 10th, June 10th, 8:30, 3, 4, 6, 8. Right here, right? Right about here. Right? That's June 10th, right? Around 8, around 9. No, that's 10 right there. All right. So the market pushed up and then it tanked. So what did it do here around this area? Eventually tanked, right? But Nas, what does Nas do? Nas is just not going to. Sometimes it just tanks, but Nas have to catch. You have to catch the liquidity and then tank. So you can ride the train up, and then the rocket goes back down. So my thing was, you eventually going to be tanking. So June 10th was a sell, right? Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, opening hour was down 328, 3.28%.
Okay. So today in July was July 13th. What happened today? It was a sell-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it pushed up enough for me to grab some liquidity and then come back down. That's called, that's kind of grabbing it, but you can see that you can prepare yourself for a sell. So
Euro USD took me out on that one.
say it again, please.
Euro USD took me out on that one. You went high,
Oh.
it closed the trade, then a bunch of people too, probably, and then it dropped.
Right. That's what that is, right? They're trying to grab the liquidity. So
Yeah.
people, a million people like yourself go long, get the money, and then they push the market down. So
Oh no, I was positioned down. It's just went up just enough to stop loss me and then drop away.
okay.
Stop hunt.
Stop hunt, right? Stop hunt. So the July 13th was sell, June 10th was sell. Now I'm gonna come over to May 11th, right? Okay, May 11th. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Watch this. I'm gonna draw a support line here, right? How about that? Here, right there. Actually, you know what? Check this out. What's this? See the little consolidation here? See that there?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna box that up. All right. So let's go over to how much you want to bet. Is this how much you want to bet price will come back to the zone? Watch this. Boom, look at that. See that? Came back to the zone. All right, so I'm still looking for May 10th. Does anybody have a question on what I just did here?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit, I think, well, obviously you nailed it, right? You knew that like there's going to be a bearish reaction, but there's always that blip up to liquidity first. I'm just surprised
Yep.
that you didn't wait because like with Matt's 101, which is only one method of many. Obviously, everyone has their own way and you're doing very well with your method, but I think his 101 would have said that you wait for it to hit that and then you want to go in the major direction down, which would have been even more profitable today. I mean, obviously we can Monday morning QB everything here, but it was just surprising that if you had told me, right now, and I hadn't looked at the market all day and you said, hey, I crushed it on NAS in the opening, like I nailed it, I have a huge take, I would have said, oh, you waited for the inevitable little blip upwards and then the massive fall and you would have gotten that, I guess, pre-market.
Yeah.
Just surprised that it was bullish. I couldn't make sense of it when I saw that one this morning.
Yeah. I agree. So what happened on May 11th? Everybody tell me what
Well,
happened on May
I
11th?
put it in the chat. I mean, the opening hour was up 31 basis points, but like, I don't know, that's kind of muted reaction. Maybe there was a lot of action within that candle.
So May 11th opened up with a buy, right? And then it dropped, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing happened today. You see that?
Yep.
I see it. That's like, wow.
So now you see why I went high. You see why I went to the buy.
Yes.
So I got a buy here. What was April 12th? June 10th was what? Was it June 10th wasn't like that, right? June 10th was just a straight drop down, right?
Right.
Okay. So this would have been hard to swallow. You would have like Watermelon was saying, you just would have done the drop down. So you've done that. But you see why you could have you did the drop down because you did the research. Okay, so this was just a sell off, nothing else, right? Sell off, right? So now I'm going to go to April 12th. Okay, April 12th. Let me just go over here. April 12th. Okay, where's April 12th at? Okay, you see this here? How much want to bet that price will come back to the zone? All right, watch this. Can't make this stuff up. Look at this. See that? Where's April? Let me go back. I went too far. April, let me draw my line here. Where's April 12th? April 12th is going to be here. Okay, here we go. Watch this. April 12th is 1, 2, 3, boom. Look at this. What do you see here? This is 9 o'clock. What do you see here? What do you see here? What do you see on April 12th? Before 809.
Yeah, like an up on pre-market. Now you can only
Boom.
take advantage of that if you're using MT4, right? Like if you were doing options on TOS, you'd have to wait for the open.
Yeah. See, the options part I'm trying to get more familiar with because my background piece right now is this indexes and Forex. But what was
but like I was saying, I mean, the skill's the important part. I mean, you're being super humble about it, but like the options, it's trivial, right? Like I was saying, it's like a basketball. You're shooting 48% from three. It doesn't matter which brand of basketball they hand you right now. You know what I mean? It's going to be easy for you to do that, but there's no pre-market, right? So like this would have been a little trickier.
Yeah. So what happened on March 10th? There was a push up, right? And a sell.
Push up.
You
That's
see that?
April.
Oh, is that April? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
April, right? Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad. Hold on. March, April. Yeah, wait. That was March. Yeah, you're right. Hold on. Did I get that right? I want to give the wrong information now. I want to make sure I got the right information here. Get too far. Get too far on myself. This is why I don't like. Okay, May's right there, right? So May was a buy
Push
sell
up
off,
and a
right?
drop.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is one of the reasons why I don't. It's hard to teach and trade because you get distracted. So April, what was April? April buy and sell. Yeah, it was right.
Push up and then drop.
Right. Okay. So let's look at March 10th. Let me get March 10th going on here. March 10th. Because I don't have March 10th. I put buy sell, but I don't even know what it is yet. So let's see what March 10th says. here a second. March 10th. March 10th. All right, March 10th is, let me get close to it, right? March 10th. March 10th is right. March 10th is right here.
Mhm.
8 o'clock in the morning. Boom. Look at this. Look at that. You can't make this stuff up. Look at this. What's this? What's March 10th say? What's March 10th say?
Push up and then a drop.
That's the same thing as this. That's 3 straight months. How many months is, how many is, this is 4 out of what, 5?
Mhm.
Right? Oh, hold on. That's not what I wanted. No, I don't want that. I want to do, I want to buy this, sell this here, right? Let's buy this, sell. So here we go. Okay. So now I'm going to January 12th. All right. You can do this all day long. January 12th. Where you at, January 12th? That's February, right? January 12th over here someplace. January 12th is over here. Here we go. January
The
12th is
other
right.
underlying thing is all the news reactions have been bearish, like
Boom, look at
recently,
this.
right? So these are all following the same.
Look at this. That's what I'm saying. This is why I did what I did. Now you're seeing that you're looking at the inners. What happened on June? That's January 12th, 8 o'clock. What happened here? Look at that. What happened there? Now I could have got burned. If I got burned, you know, it happens. But what happened here? What do you see here?
Same thing.
Same thing, right? So,
Yeah.
so my point is, how many months is that? How many months do you need to, let's go back to December. You see how I can do this all day? What's December was what? Let me go back to my data. What's my data at? CPI data here, right? What was December? December 10th, 2021. So then I'm going back. I'm going back to December 2021, right? Okay, December 2021. This is last year. December. What was it? What was the date again? December 10th. Okay. So if this is a buy sell, for me personally, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know anything else. I'll take this, and when next month come, I've got this. That's how I'm gonna attack next month. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. December 10th, December 10th, 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 10th. Look at this. Wait, hold on a second. Let me make sure I got the line right? December 10th at 8 o'clock is right there, right? Boom, look at this. So September 10th, 8 o'clock is like CPI is about 8:30, right? So what this do? Same thing, right? Am I right or wrong? Ain't that the same thing? Push up, and then it went down. It went up this way, but the initial moves right here, the first 2 hours is what I'm concerned about. 8:30 to 10:30. Buy sell, right? Buy sell. So I got so how many months is that? So there's only one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 out of 8 months, right? 7 out of 8 months did this.
Mhm.
7 out of 8 months. Right. If the people don't know what math, not like what math, but what percentages is, this is 7 over 8. That's 87.5% chance I had a chance of winning today. I'll take that every day of the week.
Yep, especially with good risk controls on it. So yeah, sorry, I didn't necessarily mean to take.
No,
that was a great
that's
rabbit
good
hole
though.
on
That's good
this.
though.
Yeah,
That's
for
good.
sure.
That's good. That's a good lesson. Good lesson.
Are you doing the just as a quick side question? Are you doing the Tokyo Open, the Asian Open at 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, or no? Do you still do those or no?
Sometimes, but I mainly focus on the New York Open, specifically with this
Yeah.
ADD, man. This ADD is game changer.
Yeah, so I guess going back to my original question, like when I saw the ADD at -2000, -1800, -1200, I was looking for down sweeps the whole time, and I lost today because I think I forced it, but because it hit so many levels and it looked like the play was shaping up. But maybe for the other folks on the call, I'm not sure you guys are looking to get out of it, but I would love to hear like a little bit more about, your methods and how you didn't get, clearly you didn't take some losing trades
For
there, so you
the-
didn't get faked out.
For
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
ADD, usually you would, when it's under minus 1800, that's when you're not really expecting sweeps. You're just expecting a bear trend. So it's going to be a continuation. The only times you're looking for sweeps is if it's between 1,000 and that and 1,800, and same thing for opposite negatively.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm the one who made that chart, but I give all credit to Jay and Seb for the chart. So I got that, but here's the issue. Today was all bullish, and it was ADD was because it went from the market opened right at 9:30. It opened at, it defied the ADD completely today, and the chart was pointless today because it opened at 11,540. Call it 11,543, and it closed, and it was all up the entire day, really. I mean, for the most part, right? It went all the way up to breaking every single area of interest, all the way up to 11,800. So it defied the ADD logic today, and maybe we can understand why. And I'll post that chart here for anybody who wants it, because I still think it's great. It just didn't work today for some reason.
Let me explain how I have learned this chart and how I have configured it to the way I trade. Because like I said, everyone has a different way of trading, but this has worked for me. Now, it may not work tomorrow. It may not work Friday. It may not work for the rest of the year. Who knows? But right now it's working, and I'm gonna ride it until it dies. So the way I looked at this, let me delete these here so I can show you, because this did exactly what I said it was going to do. So the way I look at this here is, let me get rid of all these things here so you can see what I'm talking about. Actually, let me just take all these lines off. Move all drawings. Okay. So here's my ADD. So from what I understand is that the market opens up at 9:30. So I go back to the previous day where it closed at 3:45, because the market opens up at 9:30, closed at 5:45. So I got a little green. Actually, you know what? I can probably take this off too. Take this off so we can make it bigger so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay, everybody see that? All right, I got the chart up here. So for those that don't know, this ADD is a market internals. It's in trading view. So this is kind of like a volume type thing. Deals with stocks, but I mean, you don't have to know what it means. You don't know how it works. So I care about how it works. So here is the candle, right? So the it closes at what time? 3:45. So close right there. Let me make these a little thinner so we can see what I'm talking about. So I come here and say, what time did the market? So this is when the market's closed. There's no action here, right? So the market opened up today at 9:30 right here, right? Okay, so what do I have here? I can go over here, right? I've got a gap down. Everybody see that? There's a gap down, right? It's clearly a gap down. Everyone should see that the market closed here because the green candle, it opens from the bottom, closes at the top, and it gap down here. It started here, down here. So as I was telling you before, my man is in the basement. Right? He's right there in the basement. Because I try to break this stuff down. So my niece is 13 years old, 10 years. She understands this. If I'm trying to be too technical, she ain't gonna get it. So we can get the numbers, we can quick crunch all the numbers, but it's like math. If you are way over here in left field, then the journal people won't understand it. So this is how I break this stuff down. Okay, so it opened up here, right? So it has to fill this gap. Price has to make a correction. So we're down here, you know what? We gotta fill this gap. So it gotta come up here, right? So the ADD closed, opened up at what point? Somewhere down here. What was it? Right here. What level is that? That's negative 22.95. It's way below 1800. So in my mind, I'm like, this market's going to be bullish today because I got the gap down. So this gap right here is the gap. Gap price must fill. I hope. You don't know if it will or not, because the market's funky like that. Once you figure the market out, the market will come back and mess you up. So man's in the basement. So, but remember, before any of this happened at 9:30, I have this here. I did this research before the market opened up today, because I knew. Remember, this is CPI data, so I knew. I look at the news every Sunday. I look at the news to see what's going on in the news. Before I trade, I look at news. I never get into a trade and not know news. You're just
Would
killing
you say
yourself.
the red impact thing is
Yes,
like,
yes,
is
yes,
that pretty
yes.
accurate with like
Yes,
how major
yes.
it is? Okay.
Yes, that's red. The red is it. Yellow is it's minimal. It has, sometimes it works, but the red makes the market move. So I come here and look at the news. I make sure that I understand what the news is telling me, because I gotta know how to trade it. So as you saw before, we went through, right? And we went back and looked at all these dates, and we had 7 out of 8 sell-off. So that gave me what? 80, what was it? 87, whatever percent that was. I'll do the math on this thing. 87.7% chance, 87.5% chance of going long, like right now, or open bell. I took that chance, jumped right in. So that's the reason why I did that, for those that wanted to know. So come back over here to where we are. So now that was 8:30. So 8:30 already got some bank, but I'm greedy. I want more. So I said, okay, well, I'm looking for the 9:30 one. That's the 9:30 one here. 9:30 a.m. What's the 9:30 bell saying? Okay. So they came here, opened up at negative 220.95. So I know it have to make. Remember, this is the sell-off that happened at 8:30. This was the CPI data sell-off. Boom. So I didn't take this part. I don't think. I waited for it to recover. So get in here, got that information. I could have went quick here, but I didn't. I waited down here. So it opened up at 22.95 and it creeped its way back up. And look at the gap that it filled. It filled this gap here, right? It filled the gap. So when it's filling the gap, that told me that, you know, it's time to go bullish. Then you see, I think myself and another guy earlier today, I call him Grandpa, we were struggling. This is a 200 EMA right here, this little white line. You see that it broke the 200 EMA and kept going up. So I could have held those trades, but I was just good from what I had right here. So that's kind of the reason why I took this trade to the upside, because of this 87.5%. And then once it came down here, then it was just a matter of waiting for the right move to happen. And once you got the right move to happen, then it's going to go bullish. And it filled this gap right here. You can see how it filled the gap, right? And then it kept on going up to where it is now. So it closed. Where's it closed? It closed right here, right? So then we just do this over again. So what I'll do is I'll come back at 9:30. I'll delete all this here, because remember, this day is finished, right? This day's finished. So when 9:30 roll around, I'll come here and delete everything. Before I do that, does anybody have a question on what I did here?
So
Yeah. Oh,
I
yep, go
see
ahead.
what you're doing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you first, because I'm going to actually update this little chart and or this guide and post it here for his reaction. So you go ahead.
Okay. I'm looking at so I went ahead and added that indicator to my chart also.
This
But
one.
I'm looking at your candles and they're completely different than my candles.
Which candles is that?
The one inside of the market Eternals.
Okay, so you downloaded, you got the right indicator, right?
I believe I do.
Okay. You
I
got
have,
this one here, Makito?
let me make sure. Market
'Cause-
Eternal. Yeah, I have that one.
Okay, so you've got,
662, all right.
okay, so let's compare settings.
All right, let me pull up the settings right quick.
And by the way, you can come in here and put them in here yourself, see? I didn't know you could do that, but that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, my inputs seem to be different. All right, so, oh, okay, so you have ADD, I have tick.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you have,
0,
yeah.
and you have 1800.
Uh-huh.
1000, I have that negative 1800. white, SMA, and 10. All right. So maybe that's the, yep, that was the difference.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody take a screenshot of this? Um,
I'll take a screenshot and if you don't mind, I'll
yeah,
post
go
it.
ahead. Yeah.
All right. Give me a second. Got it. All right.
Okay. Anybody else have a question on this chart here?
I do, Jay.
Yes, sir. Go.
I want to know how you call the up move, like the exact entry that you took when you saw this is not going down anymore, it is going up, and I'm entering right now. What kind of description do you use to do the entry, to say to get the go?
Okay. Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you. Sorry, it broke up.
How did you made your mind when you were clicking the button to go up on that after that down move? Like, do you go down to the 1 minute chart and wait for a break of structures or something like that?
Oh, you saying that I go? I don't. Sometimes I use the 1 minute time frame, but I've been using the 15-minute time frame. The 15 and the 5 has been really good to me. I sometimes I use the 1 minute chart, but I go between the 15 and 5. That's just me. But you
Okay.
can go down to the 1 minute chart to get what they call multi-time frame analysis. But for me, I just use a 15 to 5. So.
And Jay, I think during the live call this morning, you had emphasized that it was oversold, and I think you were using maybe it was an indicator at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, this was the pro waves. Now we're getting back to like where my charts are colorful, because you say, well, too much going on, which is fine. So I use the pro waves. Pro waves is right where you at. Pro waves. I think I put it on there. Did I put it on there already? Let's see. There we go. All right. So what do we have here? So at this point in time, I was flipping on a 5-minute time frame, because 5-minute time frame you should have blue, right? So you can see the blue was down here and it was oversold here. See that? It kind of came up here, it was overbought, then it dropped down. So this is like an RSI in a way. You could use an RSI on this. It's just another form of RSI. But I was waiting for the setup to come. So if you come to NAS, right, then you should remember what we did earlier. We were looking at remember this one, we broke this one down. We were looking at the structures, the basic structures. So you can see what was NAS doing before this drop. Look at that.
Solid, pretty much.
Look at this. Look at how long this is consolidated for. Look at this. Look at that. Look how long it consolidated for. A long time, right? Even if I make it thicker, it's still a kind of a zone there, right?
Right.
So this is all set up. This is set up waiting for CPI data.
Yep.
That's all that is.
Yeah, it was a fake out to the top.
Right.
Accumulating contracts.
Right. One day, Mike and I and a few other people were on a Zoom, and we got there's a such thing as a stop hunt high, 945 candle. There's a such thing as this, and what that does is when the people were going high here, I think somebody sent me a message saying, man, it's like man, you just like you're on a roller coaster, because it went up high and it tanked. So another question I was asking some people was, okay, so NAS went down. What other pair went up? How many people know what correlated pairs are?
I know.
Can you explain it? What is that?
So basically, correlated pairs are what pairs that move similar to the pair that you're trading.
Okay. So correlated pairs, right? How many people know what Bizarro World is?
No clue. I actually saw that on Superman, but I still have no clue.
Okay, so Bizarro is is opposite Superman. So
Oh,
he's the
okay.
enemy of Superman. So bizarre, when I say bizarre world, it's opposites. I'm a DC and Marvel comic nerd, so
Yes,
that's why.
indeed.
But it's
Now it
opposite,
makes
so
sense.
bizarre is opposite. So correlating pairs is opposite. So what's going up, someone's going down. So Nas was tanking, right? At the beginning of the bell, right? So which pair was going up?
USD CAD was bullish.
So let's look at let me go over here, pull up that's something else. I gotta show you this, something else I got for you too, but I'm gonna show that later. Let me bring up Ethereum over here.
Yeah, see, I always thought that the correlating pairs were the ones that move similar, like US30 and
USD
SPX.
CAD went up while Nas was tanking.
Okay, so let me see what this does here. Okay, so what did USD CAD do? See that?
Went bullish. Yep, it shot up.
Everybody see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Nas did this, this did this. Okay, so today was anybody's chance to bank on USD CAD. Today was the day. Today was the day. You had, wait a minute, let me go back. That's July 6th. 13th. Look at this USD CAD, man. I was saying it earlier. I was saying I was jealous of my friend because he was just killing CAD, man. Because USD's CAD is USD news 8:30, CAD news, and CAD news came back at 11 o'clock. So look at what CAD did. Look at what you could have done. You could have traded this here. And the way I did this here, look at this. This was for Nas, right? This is basically for Nas on this buy off here, buy sell off. When I check for Nas, right? So you got to check for each pair. Remember, you said, well, this worked for this pair, right? So we can do the same thing with USD CAD, right? I can go back to each of these days and see what happened. So what happened? It came here, opened up here, boom, and then it opened up, closed up here. So then you gotta take this man off here. Because this would have been a beautiful, like, he caught this here. That's the man. We don't want the man. We want an X. X is here. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, it must be messed up. So he caught this here. And then he came back and he was done for the day. He got this, and this, and he was done. And then the consolidation. See, got that long run down here. So, and what did Nas do? This is up, down. Nas is what? Down, up. That's what that is. So if you know that, then you can trade that. So now it's just in no man's land. What's the next news for tomorrow? Thursday. Thursday's more news. Look at this. You got this PPI news on Thursday, 8:30. At 8:30. So what do you think I'm gonna do to prepare for this for tomorrow? Anybody know?
Going to scan last PPI reactions versus expectations and see what the immediate versus longer reaction was.
And if I like it, I'm gonna take it. If I don't, then I can wait because you see it. You can jump in quick or take the sell down. So I love to live by keeping my pants. So that's just me. But you could do that and find out how to do that. So this one I'll do for this. So when later at night, I'm gonna go back and find out. I'm gonna have this here, but this is for this is CPI. This is PPI. So I have CPI, and I have like an Excel spreadsheet of this. So I can go back like a year and tell you what's going on with this because I did the research. So I'm going to add to CPI. This is PPI, right? So I want PPI. What's PPI going to be looking like? I might not jump in tomorrow at PPI. I might have to wait. But the market internals can tell you. And I back tested this. I back tested this market internals, man. And 85% of the market internals came to fruition. If it gap
So
down,
with
gap
these
up.
market internals, Jay, it seems like I think I might have had it wrong, or maybe there's like a slight difference between how maybe you approach it and Seb does, because if it's negative 1800 or even negative 2000, I had kind of in my notes, like only look for, bearish, like only trade in the bearish direction. But I think your thing's actually the opposite, in at least at first, because you're saying it has to fill the gap. If it's on the edges, it has to
It
come
should.
up towards the
should.
mean. And therefore,
should.
you're actually looking for the opposite. You're looking for a bullish play, just like you did today.
Yeah, sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
So,
Okay.
because 2 weeks ago, I got burned on Monday. Tuesday was stagnant, and Wednesday and Thursday paid off. But it wasn't much news, so it's hit or miss. But
But would you still be looking possibly, let's say it's at negative, 2000 or something. You think there is a gap to fill, so you take a little bullish move, then you're out of that. Are you then looking for, if the setup presents itself, a LQ sweep to the downside if
Yes,
the
yes.
ADD is still low? Okay, got it.
yes,
So I
yes,
think,
yes.
I don't know if everyone caught that. I can try to translate, but did everyone understand that?
No, I didn't catch it. Well, I didn't understand it. I caught it, but didn't understand it.
So do you want me to take a stab at that, Jay, or do you want
Yeah. No, go ahead.
So I think with ADD, like see the ADD right there where he's got the cursor. If you slide over a little bit, it's close to negative. It's very, very close to the bottom, right? So like anything else, there's regression to the mean. So the way that Jay looks at it is, okay, well, if it's so extreme, like anything, like in sports, if somebody's shooting 75% from three in the first half, they're going to shoot probably 20% from three in the second half and end up near their average, right? It's going to end up near the average, right? So that's why he says there has to be a gap to fill, right? You have to regress to the mean. So he looks first for a bullish opportunity there because he thinks there's a gap to fill and it will regress to the mean, which happens like in everything, in all statistics, in all instances, everywhere. The odds are in your favor, right? So then, but when after that's happened, because you're not in these trades super long amount of time, he's then looking for the areas of interest that he has lines on these chart here, right, where it could do a sweep, catch that liquidity, and if the ADD is still low or going back down, he would then look to ride it back down because most of the NYSE is in negative territory, is in like bearish territory.
Okay.
Does everybody understand that?
Well, I hope this is not the last session because I definitely would like to review this again. Unfortunately, I was driving, so I couldn't pay 100% attention. But I'm sure that everybody else who was on the calls got huge value from what you guys explained, which is awesome.
I got this recording, so I'm gonna post it in the links.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's awesome.
So anybody else? Anybody else? Like someone told me that my things are like Christmas, they're colorful. And I agree with you, they're colorful. But I understand how they work. And that's not to say that, oh, he's all that. I'm trying to look at it where I'm going to use some of the ones here. Like some of these algorithms here are to help us because the algorithms give us the higher highs. I'm tired of drawing higher highs, lower lows. I already know what it means. Does everyone understand what when we say liquidity sweeps? Do we understand what that means?
Does it mean like the trade travels in the opposite direction to sweep out the for example the buyers and then maybe retest to come down, something like that? I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Anybody want to explain that? Liquidity sweeps?
I think that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would say yes.
Once you have that down, I think Jay would probably agree. Like, I'm not saying I even have it down, but I think once you get in that mentality, you actually see price action like in a different way. It's always like flickering and going like kind of like a magnet to the liquidity. And then you can see it's like reactionary behavior as well. Not always, but it's just definitely The more you look out for that, the more that you like recognize it and can take advantage of it.
Okay, so I was trying to make a rule here, like someone was telling me a Forex cheat sheet. So here's my Forex cheat sheet. See if you can get with this. I'm going to move this up here and see, because the main thing is the ADD. ADD is what you want to do with. All right, so let me see. Oh, by the way, when you have a holiday, you're not going to get no data because the market's kind of closed. I don't know if anyone knew that, but all right. So let's see. This is I use the 50-minute time frame. Okay, here we go. So let's look at this. All right, you can kind of see what the markets are doing here, right? So my levels are 1800 with a little white line here. Let me make it a little white line a little bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. The white line, let me see. The dash, I'm gonna make the dash a little bit more. A bit more, kind of the dash. A little thicker. Let's see. I don't know if it works or not. Let's see. All right. So the top line is 1800 and the bottom line is negative 1800. Everybody see that? Let's see if I can make that a little better. Guess you can make this a little better like this way. Bottom right here. That. Oh, there we go. All right. Everybody see this here? See the dot lines? So
Yeah.
okay. All right. So this ADD is, think of stocks. You know, stocks gap up, they gap down. Does everyone understand what that means when I say a stock is gapping up, gapping down?
Yeah, basically when the market opens, if it's gapping up, then it opens at a higher price than what it previously closed at.
Perfect. Let's do, how many people watch Netflix? How many people know what Netflix is?
Oh, I thought you were actually talking about streaming.
Everybody.
Some people don't know what Netflix is. I ran into a person that doesn't know what Netflix is, but you know, they live in the wilderness, so you know they just don't do whatever. So it's all good. All right, so I'm going to come over here to Netflix, right? And I'm going to take off my indicators here, right? So you see the gaps?
Yeah, you definitely get a lot of gaps with stocks.
Okay, right. So the ADD works the same way. NAS is, to me, US 30 is built up of stocks. NAS 100 is built of 100 stocks. US 30, that's not 30 top stocks, I think. All right, so look at the gaps here. What is the gaps telling us? Gaps have to be filled, right, at some point in time, right? So let's look at the gap. Gap from here to here, right? See that? Here. So this is the gap down. So gap down, right? So how do we trade this? Well, when did it fill the gap? Over here. See? Fill the gap over here. So fill the gap over there. Can't read that. Oh, so it filled the gap here. So you can see the internals here, the same kind of way, right? So when the market opens up, it gapped down, right? So this line here is where it gapped down, right here. Right there, right? Here. Boom, right there. So what happened when the market gapped down? This is what time? This is 3:30. What happened? You have to fill the gap some kind of way, right? So whenever the market internals are below, it went up, right? Right, see that? Kind of went up right at the morning bell, right? See that?
Yeah.
Now, you could have traded this, but you would have known that because it went up. And then it kind of went back down again, had to settle, but then it kind of went up for the rest of the day. See that? So you could have been bullish on Netflix. You see the little trend, right? It's going up a little bit, right? Up a little bit, right? Up. That's up, right? Would you agree? I mean, it came down a little bit, but it's up. And once you hit the bottom of this zone here, see the gap? See right there? You would have got out. So even if you let the market open up, you got in here and you'd have rolled all the way up. I mean, how many points that is? Remember, you're dealing with stocks, so stocks a little different. So you're dealing with points. That's like 4 points, something like that, I guess. But you would have made money on that. So it's like this all the time in the markets. Look at this one here. Gapping down, right? So what happened here? This is a gap down, right? The gap down right here. From here to here, there's a gap down, right? So from here to here, there's a gap down from here to here. Right there.
Mhm.
Not this one, but what trend line? From here to here, right? Gap down. So what has to happen? Has to, so another zone here. So where did it fill the zone on the other side to the right? See this over here? Came back to fill the zone over here. So this is 930 all the way to the next day. So you would have known that I got a gap down, right? And where did the market internals open up? Here on that day, right? It opened up at negative. Look how negative that is, right? So it has to, and sometimes it ranges, but it opened up so deep here that it had to fall a little bit, but then it has to make another way up, right? So here's the gap up, right? Here's the gap up, right? And then you know that it has to fill the gap some kind of way. So it's still kind of ranging a little bit down here, but then eventually it's going to come back up. So you would have knowledge that, okay, well, it gap down. So it's kind of bearish here. You could have had a trend line right here at the end of the day, right? And just drew it to the sky. You wouldn't have known, right? Or you could have drawn like this somewhere in the future, somewhere, if you didn't know what these prices were, right? And then at some point in time in the future, right, you'd have a break of the trend line structure. So if you didn't know any of this, let's say you just had this information like that, and you didn't know, you could draw a trend line like this, right, down to here, and then it would have broke your trend line at the end of the day. So even if you didn't take any trades in Netflix, once you came back in the morning, you'd have seen this bullish here, and you could have held the trade overnight because it's got to fill the gap. So it gapped up. So as long as you can see where the price is gapping up or gapping down, then you can kind of play your price. Even if you didn't take this trade, if you waited to morning of the 15th, you'd have been in for the buy, because where it opened up above 1800, right? And it stayed above 1800. Now it kind of came back down a little bit, but it's still kind of bullish because it had that gap to fill. And you see that it had to fill this gap over here. See the gap here? It had to fill this gap here. This is the gap fill right here. This is price filling the gap right here. Price filling gap. So this is where you would enter at 930 and you would keep your trade open until it hit here. And look where it hit. It hit the top of where it closed. See that? This is where it closed here, right? And it followed the gap over here. So the ADD helps you understand that. And this works the same way with NONs, same exact thing. It may not fill the gap today, but it's going to eventually fill the gap sometime in the near future. Has to, because price has to make a correction, has to correct itself. That's like my man was saying. If I'm 75% in the first half, that's ridiculous numbers. I don't know how many people follow basketball, but Steph Curry shooting 75% the first half, he's not going to shoot 75% in the second half. It has to be corrected. Then he'll be back down to his 38, 39%, whatever else, like that. It's the law of averages. That's what happens with the golden zone and the fibs. Everything has to average out. If I'm way bullish in the morning, then I gotta be way bearish in the afternoon. Or I'm bullish or bearish. It has to add up. You just can't skyrocket. Nas ain't gonna hit 30,000. The same with Bitcoin. People don't understand Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit 60, 70%. And why did it reverse? I mean, I know it has everything to do with Bitcoin's a little different, but the prices have to go up and down depending on what's going on in the news. Netflix was trading at 500 a year ago. Now you see it's down to 100 something, right? So these things happen, but there's going to be a reverse in the market, and I don't think people are ready for that. There's going to be a 2000 pip move coming. And I don't think people are ready for that. Everyone is like trying to scalp and everything else and whatnot, but I'm looking for bigger moves. Ethereum's going to turn around. Ethereum's down at not 1090, Bitcoin's 20,000, but it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. And a perfect example of this, if you really had to have proof in the pudding, look at this here. How many people know when the pandemic started? Everybody know when the world shut down?
Yeah, what that was.
What date was that? What date was that? I can tell the exact date.
Yeah, I can't.
Probably
March
mid
20th.
Feb, late Feb.
It was March 2020,
Okay.
20th.
Okay, good. So let's look at this for a second. I'm just hoping that this gives somebody some information of what you need to do here. Okay, so what happened March 2020, right? So I'm gonna draw a little line here. March 20, 22. Hold on, let's go back. Let's go back to the higher time frames, daily time frame. Let's go over here. So you can see what I'm talking about. And then you wonder why gas is $5 a gallon. All that stuff works out. They don't make this stuff up. All right, so 2020, you said the world went to hell, right? So let's go back, 2020. All right, May 2020, March 2020, right? Okay, right around here, you see the where it tanked right up in here someplace, right? So I'm gonna draw a line where it tanked right here. Really it's right here, but when the world shut down, it's about March 20, right there, right? About there. So I was trading oil, and Hugo's Way would not let me. This went down to zero. I remember that day it went down to zero, and I couldn't close my contract out. They wouldn't let me close my contract out, and then oil somehow or another just disappeared from my Hugo's Way. It got down to zero, and it was just because they were selling off barrels of oil, like it was giving up away for free, because nobody was driving, no ships, no trains, nothing. So what happened? Look at what it. So if you would have waited here on oil pays. I don't know if people know that, but oil pays. Oil moves slow, but oil pays. That's all I'm telling you. It moves, it's volatile. So from here, this was March 2020. Actually April, when that over here. Here we go right here, March, right? So it took all this time to come here and tanked all the way to March, right? So March, almost about a month. Then what happened? It rose up. It rose up to this. So this is the gap here. This is a huge daily gap. Boom. Right? So it came all the way back up to X. Here it hit almost what? I won't say a year later, but 7 months later, 6 months later, 2020 here. So this is where it is right now, right? So that's 2020. Then what happened? It started to go up higher, right? Because it was at zero. Imagine if you'd have bought down here at zero, and you would have had a lot size on this. You wouldn't be trading anymore. So you go over here, right? It's going up, and you see it's been steadily going up, going up, going up, going up to where it is now. It's at 96.4. But if you go back to the weekly time frame, you see that you wonder why the prince of all these princes in Saudi Arabia are paid. Well, you can go back and see the highest oil has ever been is up here. I don't remember, people remember 2008? Everybody remember that? With a crash. So from here, this was the crash of 2008. Go back and look it up. So this is where oil is here. So if you go to the weekly time frame, you can see that this is a big move for oil. So where's oil right now? Oil's right now, it came up to 130, right? But that's why gas is so high now, because it's here. So we are here now. So how could you trade this? This is long-term trades. So look where you are. What kind of zone is this? It's a zone here, 96. It's going to shoot back up. But that's kind of how you trade that. But what I'm saying is that if you look for these type of moves in the market, then you're looking at long-term trades. And that's happened with GU.
How
GU,
many
same
are you?
thing.
How many assets are you looking at these days, Jay? Is it obviously you have NAS and you have like what 5 major pairs, or is it that entire watch list that we're looking at?
All this here.
Yeah, actively trading all those.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You see this here? See, I have these old markups. You see that? I have all these old markups. But I look at all these pairs every day because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prepare. Let me show you. Let me draw. I'm trying to prepare for the next 2000 pip move. This is weekly, right? Look at this. Here is a zone here, right? There's one rejection right there, right? There's a rejection right here, right there, boom. And there's one right here, right there. Because it's right there, the rejection right there. This one plays on both of those right there. So this is where I'm at. This is kind of, there's no rejection over here. I don't see nothing over here, right? There's nothing on that level right there. So this is 1.8836. So if I don't do anything else, I like to make these, anyone heard of the quarter point theory? Does anybody know what
Yeah,
that is? What's
I've heard
that? What is that?
basically where you draw your support resistance at those quarter levels, like I believe like 500, 250,
Yeah.
750, and so forth.
Right. So I'm making them even numbers.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. See, I got 8028. I don't care about that, right? What's wrong? What's 8028 rounded up to the next? So you can do it math. What's let's just do, is that like 30? 30, you do 30, I guess. 30, right? 30, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I got this right there. Boom. All right. So let's say I don't do anything for the rest of the week. And I'm at 80. Is it 1830? Is that what it is? So I'm at 1830. 1830, right? 1 point, is it 1.1? So it has to break this. So when the market opens up, today's Wednesday, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. So if the market don't move nothing past, because right now it's at 83, it's at 18,833, 32, playing around there. I want the market to come down here. So if the market breaks this level here, right? If it breaks 1830, if the market comes down here, breaks 1830, and if it retests back to my market here, boom, then I'm taking it down to this level down here. But see that? How many pips is that? From here to here is 370 pips. Who wouldn't want that? So
Yeah,
if it comes down to here, I said this was a double bottom. Remember double bottom? If it comes down to here, this is what I was telling you. Will it happen? I don't know. But are you going to be on the train when this happens? You're gonna be mad that the call wasn't made because you can't call everything. I'm just giving you some soft to say what you're gonna do. This is my thinking on this. And this is what my mentor told me. He go for 2,000 pip moves. If you don't see a 2,000 pip move, he's not dealing with it. So where's the lines up here? I think Pam or one of the other ladies were saying, okay, you can do this here. Look at this nice here. This is like a pancake right here, right? I can put it right there. What you say right there? Boom, right here. One right here, right? And a secondary right here, right? That's a zone right here. That's a zone right here. That's a sell zone right here. But see that? But that's a big area, right? Because it's a weekly time frame. This is a strong sell area. Everybody agree with that? Sell zone.
Yeah.
So how many pips is this? When last time it up here? 2021? Last time it was here is 2020. It didn't get that far down, did it? When last time it been down here? Ooh, it ain't been down in a long time, right? Long time. When last time it been down here? This I'm 95. It hit the chart 94. There's nothing else before that, right? So it never been that slow. It never been this slow, right? It's been down here for a while, right? Been down here. You see it retested this zone, right? This is a support zone right here. But to that, this is a support zone right here. I can draw a support zone right there. Boom. I can draw all this really if you want to, but it's do it here. If it break this here, come down here. How many pips is that? From here, even from here, but I'm looking at it from if it break this zone because it's tanking, right? What's the overall trend of GU right now?
Definitely down.
Definitely down, right? So if it hits here, right, it never been past here. So if it come here, that's.
Sheesh.
But if you're ready for that, that's a year you have to wait. You put a standard on it. You dedicate $1,000 and you put a standard on it and you let it ride. And you don't monitor it every day. You monitor it here and there. You know, it's going to fluctuate, go up and down. But it took what time? From here, 2020, all the way to 2 years. It's a 2-year trade.
Right.
So if it comes here, so in 2024, when we have the same conversation, you'll be up 50 grand or whatever it might be. If it hits that, it came here, right? It has to go back up. So that's a 2,000 pip move. Some people are not ready for that. They just trading, you know, in between. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the weekly time frames now. See, that's the biggest thing. If you can get the weekly time frames, then you're good to go. But somebody wanted to know, we know your levers probably out of this world. Levers are going to be because you have to look. Hold on a second. Let me pull up something here. I got a chart here somewhere. Hold on. Let me bring a chart over here. I'll see. I can show you a chart. This is like, hold on a second. Let me pull up this here. This is a pretty chart, man. It's old school, but let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see. I have crap load of stuff that I have in my documents. Let's see. Let's see. One second here. I got here. I tell you, I've got a lot of stuff going on, man. Oh, where's my folder? Where's folder? Here we go. Here. Boom. Source documents here. Okay, let's see what you got here. All right, so this is, here it is here. See this? No, that's not. What leverages, right? What leverages? Where's, I forget what that was. This was another thing I was doing, but this is the kind of leverage here. But you should only be doing like 2% of your account. So, you know, you can trade NAS with $200. This is a lower account I have. See that? I have 4 accounts. I have some accounts that I do low trades on, and I have higher accounts. The other ones you see 3, 4 lot sizes. You can't do this on this. You have to have money in there. But you can trade NAS with a small account size. You see that, right? You can see where I got burned on some of this stuff. See, where's it at? Where's it at? You can see where I traded a little here and there. See that? You can see I got burned. See right here? I got burned on my little trade here. See that little NAS trade? I lost that trade and I had to recover $81. I lost another one here. So you do lose trades, you know. But you can trade NAS for $200 something in your account. You just have to, you know, go from there. It can be done. But as far as leverages, you just gotta, you want to leverage anything on your account. You know, I don't risk 2%. You gotta be okay with risking, you know, if you have $20, how much you gonna risk to get 40? You're gonna risk it all? Then you'll kind of be blown. So how do you, like, that's risk management. That's like a whole different thing. What are you risking to get or to, you know, go from there? That's the biggest thing. What are you going to risk to, you know, get your money or whatever else? So I try to risk like this here. I would never risk 10% of this. What's 10% of this here? It's almost $3, right?
$29.
Right. So am I going to risk $29 to get $58?
No, that don't make any sense.
Doesn't, right? Doesn't make sense, right? That's not risk. That's not good. How much would you risk on this account if you're doing a small account like this?
If you're doing a small account and you said 2%, that's only like $5 for that.
Okay.
A little over $5,
So
almost
you can,
$6 actually, because you're close to 300.
so you can over leverage, or you can. Some people over leverage all the time, but you got, you know, you got to be smart about it.
Got to be careful though. You might get a margin call too.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, with Nas, you got to get below, I want to say $80.
Yeah.
But once that thing drop under 80, you're gonna start seeing pink.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Pink, right? And I've been there plenty of times.
Yep,
Trying to get
me
pink.
too. That's why I know.
I ain't trying to get pink, man. No pinks, man.
Hey,
So
Jay, quick question.
yeah, yeah.
Say for instance, you have a $10,000 my Forex fund account, and of course you can't go below 5%, which is $500 in a well, like a 24-hour period, a trading day. What would your maximum risk would
If
you
I had
put
a
on a trade?
if I had a $10 account or like a funded account.
Funded account.
The rule for me under a funded account is this: I never let it go 3% drawdown, never. Because on the MFF it's 5%. So I always try to stay, because I trade, because I'm on my 2 MFFs I have. I don't trade the way I trade on the aggressive accounts. You can't be aggressive with that because you'll blow your count. So
Right.
I try to never go below 2%. Never. I never have 2% drawdown. I never hold trades overnight. I close trades out. So if I trade in the morning, I'm done by the afternoon because it's another trading day and it goes against you. So I mean, you can close the trade out and they swap fees, all this stuff. So the rule is 2% drawdown. If you, and I always focus on sniper entries, because some entries I get into, I got drawdown. I don't want to have drawdown. So like today, I would have traded what I traded today on my MFF. There's no way. There's no way, because that could have bounced against me. That could have went against me. So whenever I trade, the trades I would take on, like if I was doing NAS, would have been the one up, not this one here. See, this one here is different because I had all the had the research, but I would wait it for the trade to play stuff out and then trade after the news. So on prop firms, I always trade after news. I never trade news on that because I know I'll find me a trade. And then if you remember on this one, it filled the gap up. So once I knew the gap was filled, this gap here was filled, then I would have been trading that. So I always do 2% drawdown because the max they give you is 5. And if you try to do 3, then you'll be 5% quick. So 2% is the one I go down. If I see my trade, it's going below 2%, I close it out and take the loss. And then I just prepare for the next day. The goal is to stay on top of the amount. So if you got a $15 account, you want to stay on top of 50. You want to grow it. You don't want to be going negative, because when you go negative the other way, that tells them that you don't know what you're doing. And I blew two MFF accounts because I was greedy. So you have to, like, when you trade those accounts, you got to trade them more serious than you do your own accounts. And when I trade MFF, I trade on what I call MFF days, which means I'm not doing those Zoom calls. I'm not doing this. I'm focusing on this, and then go from there. That's just me. I have to be able to focus on it so I can, because if I don't focus on it, it's going to go the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, a question for you on that thought of risk management. What would you consider somebody to stop trading, like 3 trades a day, cut it off, or how do you see that?
I do 3 to 5, and then after that, I'm done. If you lose 3 trades, you should stop trading.
Okay.
If you lose 2 trades and you lose 2 trades bad, stop trading.
Walk away. Yeah.
Walk away. You got to walk away, man. And you know what they call revenge trading?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all learned that one.
Yeah. Does anyone not know what that means? Man,
Yep, that's what blows
please
your account.
don't revenge trade, because it's another day.
Definitely guilty of that.
Yeah, see?
I know I am too.
Yeah, so you have to stop. You have to stop that. And sometimes it takes discipline to do that, So I've been part of that multiple times. So I always say don't revenge trade. If you, and then another friend of mine say, oh, I won 10 trades, then I lost 10 trades. I was like, well, damn, hold on, you won 10 and lose 10? I said, how you do that? Oh, I was 10, I was in there 10, and then I kept trading. I'm like, dude, what's your trading goal? He didn't have one. He didn't have a trading goal. I want to make $1,000 a day. Well, what's your trading goal? Start with 20. Do a 200 pip NOS move. Get 200 pips in NOS and get out. Get 20 pips and get out. Some people can't get 20 pips every day. If you can get 20 pips every day for 30 days, then you've mastered discipline. You're a master of your domain. If you can get 200 pips, you can get 100 pips every day in NOS. Every day, you're a master of your domain. That's all you need. Because let me show you this
We'll
here.
give you that crown.
Look at this here. This is a challenge that I wanted to do with the Data Pro group a while back, and a few other groups that I was in, but people, they weren't disciplined enough to handle this. This is 60 to 11,000. You see that? You see that? Oh, you see that? Can you see that? That's 60. And look at the lot sizes on there. You got to be, but it grows, right?
Right.
5 all the way to 9.89. You see, you go from 60, excuse me, start with 50, day trades. So you just trade for a day. You don't trade 5 trades every day for 1 month. So from 60 to 11,000. And I always ask people who can do that. And people will start with it and they'll be in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. And when you lose, you take it off and you just restart again. So if you're in trade 7 and you lose, then you just go back to trade 6 and you go from there. But the goal is, if you've done 20 pips, right? 20 pips all day. And not even that. What if you did 10 pips? Look at this. This is even lighter. This is lighter. This is 50 to 5,000. 10 pips a day. 10 pips a day. In GJ, you can get 10 pips every day.
Yeah.
And I was going to do this with some people. I mean, it was like, well, okay, charge this, charge that, whatever. I said, well, but I had a group of people about 6 months ago. Of 30 people, we started off at $50, and 25% of the way, half of them dropped out because they weren't disciplined. You got to be disciplined. Not saying that's a good thing, but you have to be disciplined. Just like when you play basketball, some of the better players are good, some of them are not good. You've seen, you know what you got to do. So I keep
Can you
asking, how many people
post
will
it?
do that? Yes.
Can
I'll
you
take a screenshot. Yes.
yeah, post it, because I am interested in it, because I've been trading, but I haven't
Mhm.
really been completely successful. Like I'll win and I'll lose, but I am becoming more disciplined, and I actually want to try that.
Okay, so here's the question: who would be willing to do that next month? What if I
Yes.
started? What if I did this on August 1st? Because it's July, we're in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
I did August
Jay.
1st, and you started with $50. I can't
Yeah.
promise you. I can't say it's going to work. I can't say it's not going to work. But all I can say is that we would be. But this would be one of those situations where there's 3 thoughts to this. There's the challenge, and then you do it. You monitor yourself. We check in, or you do the challenge and you trade every day for 30 days on GJ. You choose one pair and you don't deviate from that. You choose one pair, and that means everyone would have to come. It doesn't have to be every day. It could be over 2 months. But like I was telling you earlier, you can get 10 pips off GJ every day, every single day at 3 o'clock. I kid you not.
Jay, can we put a rule around it though?
Yeah, we can do it however we want.
My suggestion would be is that everybody uses the Dyno Pro tools. That would give them a better edge to be consistent getting those 10 or 20 pips. Not that I
That's
want to
fine,
promote
too.
these guys. I mean, I know the tools, and I know it gives an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, however you got to do it, however you got to get in, however you can get in. That's how I look at it. But every day at 3 a.m., this market moves 3 to 4:30, Sunday through Thursday. And you can backtest this till you blue in the face, but it works. But this is like powerful. 10 pips. Look at that. 10 pips. Can't beat that. This is a hard challenge because, like I said, I tried this challenge with other people, and they gave up halfway, not even halfway through, 5, 6 days in. I mean, they family and stuff, but it wasn't family that brought them down. It wasn't. It was just discipline. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And then when they saw a setup on a trade, they didn't take it. They said, "We got 5 confluences. Why would you not take a trade? If you got 5 confluences?" And yes, the Dynapro, I call them the 4 Ps. I don't know if people know that or not, but the 4 Ps are these little things, what I call colorful stuff, the colorful things. You use all the colors, right? You're trying to get colorful, I guess, after a while, but I got an indicator here. I've got the 4 Ps. Okay. The 4 Ps. Let me see if I can show my indicator. See? And yeah, it's colorful, but
Hey,
that's-
John, I noticed that you got that big pimping indicator. Is that John? Is that Bob Beckett?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've used that every now and then.
Okay. Now, what about the day trading addict? Do you have his indicator as well?
Which one's that?
The day trading addict.
No, I don't have that one.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I got a crap load of indicators, from different things, and I picked up another one. Some of these indicators, because I belong to a whole bunch of different email things, so groups. So I get a lot of indicators, so things. This big pimping thing is not bad. It's okay, but all it does is shows. I mean, all it does is show support zones and FEG, that type of thing. So it's kind of ran. It's for $7, but it runs in conjunction with Pro. So it showed the same things. It's just there's some pieces of it I use. So I like to try different things to see how things work. Kind of like what I do with. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's your favorite one?
Man, the Pro stuff is just the bomb, man. I use that more or less.
Pro Algo.
Yeah, Dynapro. So I'm trying to put together this different indicator I can use. The Pro Waves, Pro Oscillator are great, but the Pro Algo, the Pro Concepts, these things are like the bomb, man. They just, like I said, they draw the lines in there, FEGs, on the lower time frames, and a lot of stuff has helped me. It's made my trading better. That's what I can tell you.
So Pro Algo and Dynapro, are those 2 separate indicators?
They're all together. They're part of the Dynapro. Yeah, they're part of the Dynapro family. This is this group here. This group here. I don't know if you see that, but it's right. I belong to a whole bunch of different groups, but it's a Discord. So this is where I post most of my stuff here. Everyone is talking about diverse things and the different good community, whatnot. So so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. At first glance, it looks pretty intimidating. It looks like it's super busy.
You could tailor-made it to what you need. Like you can probably take some of these off. See, like come here, right? Come here, and then it looks a little better, right? See, you don't have that much on there. So you can tailor make it for what you want it to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like here, this is not too bad. I mean, it's not too bad. Got a couple of, once you spread it out like this, you can see where the higher highs are, see?
Okay.
And you can see the levels, see the little order blocks? So now and you can take this off, so you can see why, you see the higher high up here? See, you see it says validated order block?
Yep.
Choose a character, break a structure. So you can see where the lower low here was, and there was a buy there. And you can see where it lines up with the oscillator right here. See right here? What's this? Right in here somewhere, see? So when that buy happened, what happened? You see the green went up,
Yeah.
You see this went down. This is the divergence.
Yeah.
So this, it's going up. So it all works together. But it has the same momentum as my chart here. You can clearly see where the entries are here. That long shift down, and then there was a support zone here. Then it went up. I got my 20 at moving average here. My 200s, the red. You can see where the reversals are. You can see up here. So this spot here is where the reversal happens, and it lines up with my trading view here. See. So I keep both of these on the same 2 different screens, and I watch them. So,
Okay.
but this is tough to do.
Hey, I'm down to do it.
Tough to do. You have to be disciplined, man.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about. I was talking about correlating pairs. Let me screenshot this. I don't think people know this. If EU is going up, and EU is going up, then see how this correlates? EU, UJ, EJ. But yeah, man, this is all depends on how bad in the you want to go. You have to take everything, man. That's how you win the game. That's how you win the game. You have to know.
So John, do you have it to where you can pretty much guarantee that every day you at least get 10 or 20 pips off of GJ?
Yes. Every day.
Man, cause I need that to pass this challenge, bro.
Every
like
day.
I said, I'm on phase 2, and I just want to, be done.
Okay, so let's just check this out real quick. I know there's another person having a different session, but 3 o'clock every day, right? So I just look at the 1 hour time frame. Let's look at this week. Look at this week here. So the week started July 17th, right? No, I'm sorry, 10th, my bad. I'm ahead of myself. July 10th, right? So July 10th is right. July 10th, right here, right? That's when the week started. July 10th, right? That's Sunday at 5 o'clock, right? So what you do is you come over here, right? So look what I have for the week so far, right? So I'm gonna put a line at the low, right? Right to that, right? And I'm put a low at the high, right? These are the high and the lows, right? So I'm coming here and write HOW. That's high of week, right? I like to abbreviate. I don't like to write stuff out. So, and what everyone knew what this was low, right? Low, right? Oh, low of week, right? So far so good. So far so good.
Yep.
All right. Any questions on that? So I come here and draw a little zone here, a little zone. This is the high zone here, right? Boom. And I can draw a little zone down here. It's a little bitty zone, probably right in here, like that, right? Okay. There's a zone right there. All right. So now I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna save this guy. And today, no, that's not save. This is lock. We'll lock it down. That's fine. So I'm gonna come in here. Today's Wednesday. So I got a Thursday session, right? And I got a Thursday session. Like how many more? I got 2 more Londons, right? Thursday and Friday, I think, right? 1 more London maybe. Let's see. All right. So come over here, and let's write down when London starts. London starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. So 3 is right. Boom, right there, right? So that's my first London. And I need another London, 3 o'clock. I need a 12th London, July 12th, right? That's July 10th. London over here, London 3, boom, right here, boom, right there. That's the just July 11th, 12th. I need a 13th London, right? 13th London is right here, 3 o'clock, boom. And then I'll have, how many more Londons I got? I got one tonight, right? 3 o'clock is right. Keep going. Hold on, I went too
Mm-mm.
far.
Keep going.
13th, 16th. Keep going. Yep, keep going. Right. Boom. Right there, right? And 14th, and that'll be it,
Yeah.
right? Right. Five sessions, right? Right. Right. And this is the start of the week. Start of week, right? Right here. Call it SOW, start of week, right? So how many Londons I got? Right, the week's right here. Right, I got one. I should have one here, right? Did I miss one? No, that's right. 3 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock. That's 4 sessions, right? We got 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Okay. So those are my sessions I got for, and then the market closes on July 15th, the 14th, right? The 14th. So market closes, we close the 15th at that's not gonna be, that's the 15th. So that's done. It's done that time. So it's gonna close at 1700, right? Just right. No, wait, 15th, because you get the New York Open, right? And then it stops. That's 7 o'clock in the morning. Wait a minute, you still got a 3 o'clock one. Yeah, you got one here, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm bugging. Okay, so they get that one. I got 5 sessions, right? So you see, I got more room over here. I got all this stuff over here to work with. See, I got all this over here to work with. So I got some time, right, before the market at 3 o'clock, and then the market closes 15th, right? Here, boom. All right, so I have all this time here. All right, so let's see how we get 10 pips. So I got that there. So now I'm gonna save this here real quick, boom. And then I'm gonna come in a 15-minute time frame. That's the 30-minute time frame. So I got my week here, right? That's my week right there, right? With SOW. SOW is right there, right? Okay. So you see at 3 o'clock my times here, right? And you see that I would have got pips for 10 pips, right? So 10 pips is going to be this marker here, right? Let me break this open a little bit more. That's my zone here. So I can move my zone up a little bit more, right? Like that. So you prepare yourself at 2 o'clock. At 3 o'clock open, you would have gotten this trade right here. How many pips is this? 40, right? See that? So you got 40 on Monday. Come back again. How many pips is this? Another 40, 60 up in there. See that? That's 4 times the pippage, 5 times the pippage, you're done. Or you come here and what's this? That's what, another 30?
There, you just made your whole month.
Exactly. So I'm saying, what I'm saying is that I just showed you 49, 56, 43. So let's say this is all 50. That's 50. That's 50, 100, 140. You're done. So now we're over here now.
Hold
You
on.
get 10
So,
pips on DJ. If you can't get 10 pips on DJ, you need to stop trading.
so,
Seriously.
so as far as drawdown, how many pips drawdown should you prepare for?
Depends on your risk management. My risk management is going to be different than your risk management, right? Are you willing for $20? How much would you you're willing to risk $20? How much are you willing to get? Or 10? What's your risk management? What can you stomach?
Yeah, well, I have to think from a perspective of a MFF challenge account.
Okay.
So I need to make about, in order to pass, I think I need to make about $140.
Here it is. Here it is. The challenge account is $10,000. I started off with. They said you got to make this 5%. First is 8%. So the first phase is $800. So you have to the first phase of, because I just did this. First phase of MFF is $800, right? Second phase is 5%. So $500. They give you 30 days to do it.
To make the 800?
Yep. For the first
Under-
phase. The second phase is 500. So they give you 30 days. Some people get it the first day, but then you have to. So I just take 0.01 trades. So you just have it open. You have to have it 10 days or whatever they do. You just can't get the money in one day. You got to be like, whatever that might be.
Yeah,
So-
no, the second phase is 60 days.
Okay. Well, there you go. But you have this time to do it. So what I'm saying is that every day, and we can go back and check this. Give me any day, pick a day. Pick a
Let's
random,
try.
pick a
let's
random day and
try-
go ahead.
Let's try. Let's see, NFP week, which was last week. Let's try Wednesday of last week.
13th. I'm sorry. No, the 6th, right?
Yep.
That was June 6th. Go hour time frame. June 6th. I'm sorry, June 8th. That's NFP. June 8th. Okay. June 8th. All right, June 8th. Let's go. Oh, and by the way, let me go back over here something for a second. Who can tell me what these two levels are again?
The high of the week and the low of the week.
Okay. What do you notice when I go backwards in time?
They got knocked out. Supply zones, liquidity zones.
Price reacts to it.
Right. So these are powerful levels, right?
Yep.
So I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. July 8th. Okay. I didn't forget your question there, brother. July 8th, right? July 8th. Let me draw a line so I can know, because that's June, July 8th. Let's go over here. June. Right in here somewhere, right? July 8th, right in here. 8th. There's someplace. Open this up a little bit more. That's last week. All right, so let's look at July 8th. July 8th. That'll be July 7th at 3 a.m. in the morning, right? July 7th. Boom. Right there, right? July 7th at 3 a.m. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 pips, right? That's at 3 o'clock. You're getting up at 1. You're getting your coffee at 1 o'clock, which is right here. What do you notice? This is a 1 hour time frame now. 1 hour time frame. So I'm gonna drop down to the 15-minute time frame in a minute.
Jay, you want to put that even just pro algo on, which is easy to follow?
Yeah, we could do that. See. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Takes a minute for it to show up. All right. So we looked at that. We were looking at July 8th at 3 a.m. Right? Is that what we're looking at?
Yes.
Right. Is that right?
No, the 7th. The 7th.
Oh yeah, my bad. You're right. So let's get rid of this one here. This was another
That's
one. I had
1
here.
o'clock in your coffee.
Right, coffee. Right. Okay, good. Thanks for reminding me. See, that's good. That's good. Somebody to remember. All right, because I go brain dead here trying to remember 5 million things. All right, so here, 3 o'clock. Boom. So what do you notice happening here? What's happening here? Look at this. What's happening in this area here?
It's not
A lot
breaking,
of retest to that zone.
not breaking the weekly.
Yeah, you could actually put a trend line too from the bottom to your 3 a.m., let's say,
Okay, so there's a
at
lot
an
of
angle.
So
And you
I
could
can go like
also
this.
say if it doesn't, yeah, exactly. If it maintains, I wouldn't make it that far because we're not, let's say we're not seeing that price yet. Let's assume we're not seeing it. Stretch your line just to 3 a.m.
Oh, you mean here like this?
Yeah. And have that kind of a gauge, right? If it doesn't fall under that, you're still on calls.
Why would I do this? Anybody know?
That could be not. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
you
no,
went too far.
you're right. This is good. But why would I draw a trend line to the sky? Anyone know? Because I don't have this information, right? I don't have this information, right? I don't know.
It's because eventually when it returns to that, or when it does come back to that, it'll be there and waiting for it.
Okay.
Pro Algo can make that line for you now.
Yeah. So it's right. You're right. So let's say, how many people are familiar with the replay in TradingView?
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna come here and bring the line here, right? So remember, I don't know any of this, right? I just drew a trend line to the sky. I don't know anything. So let's go in here and watch this. I'm gonna slow it down for you real quick to show you. Like this. Yeah, let's see. That's slow enough. Not 3 o'clock yet. So it's 15-minute time frame. You already had a buy signal here. See that?
Yeah, I see
See
that
that?
thing that say SL.
Right. That's stop loss. This is a stop loss that I programmed into the
Okay.
indicator. So you can come here and then you can create your own here. See default? That's under input. Sorry. See this? And there's other things you can put on here. This is the default. I just loaded it. See, I can put other things on. I can make it pretty. So you use what you can here. You see, you get all these different filters, version bands. I can make this. You can tailor make it the way you want it. You see, supportive resistance lines. See that? S1R. You can make it all pretty. That's what all the ones you see. They're pretty. You know. And stop loss. See, this is my trailing stop loss. See there? You can change this up the way you want on your risk management. But if you want, you play with them. You got the short entries there. See, now you're making it pretty. See? So you put all the long entries in there, whatever else, whatever you want to use it. Each person, you can come up here and you can design it for however you want. Are you, what are you? Are you trend? Are you range, scalp, day trading? What are you? You see? And then you go here and look, now you have all this other information in here. See that? So you tailor made the way you want. But anyway, if I play this right here and 3 o'clock, what happens? You got 10 pips, right?
Yep.
Clearly, right here.
And the other way.
Look at a 50, but I'm talking about 10.
There.
I'm talking about
Well, that's
10.
the 15 minute.
10.
Month is made.
Look at that. 100, but it keeps going, right?
How much did the sell give you at 3?
Well, this would have been a buy. But see, what I'm saying is that, look at that. See, now it's in the red. This is the red, what they call the red reversion band, which means it's likely to what? Drop off, right? That's the whole point. So let's see what it does. If it's deep in the red, if it's deep in the red, you know it's good. Look at this. You see what's doing, right? Look at that. Look at that.
Always goes back to the mean.
Right. The R&B. Yes. See, I'm telling you, this stuff is powerful, man. Look at that. You see where it changed right there. Look at that right there. Look at this. And it came back to my trend line, the one I drew to the sky. See that? I got a buy signal here. It went to the sky. It came to the trend line right here. So if it breaks the trend line and retest, we're taking it lower. If it bounces off the trend line, this is trend line bounce. So what happens? That's called a trend line bounce. Everybody familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
So John, how do you know at the opening? Do you have to wait on the opening bell to know what direction to go in, or you're looking at the market structure at that time and saying, okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna jump in and buy?
I'm looking at the market structure because what happened earlier? I got a buy signal here, right?
Okay,
What time this buy signal came?
1 o'clock.
Boom. What time is your coffee?
1 o'clock.
So you already know. You just chilling. You already know you're chilling. You could have got this 10 pips here and got out. I'm
Right.
just saying 3
That's what I'm
o'clock
about to
is the
ask,
bell.
yeah.
3 o'clock is the bell. So okay, so let's rinse repeat, right? I'm going to close this out. Yes. And give me another date. Any date.
Let's pick, I think
Random.
NFP.
Don't do it NFP. Just give me a random date.
Let's do a challenging one. Let's look at this morning's.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Nice. See, my man got some stuff. He got some stuff for me.
We
Nice.
played the same one, so I know the
Right,
scenario.
Yeah. So we're gonna look at 3 a.m. that was just passed, right? That's in this week, right? So let me get rid of this trend line here. So what do we have here? Let me just take this off for a second because it gets kind of messy. All right. So 3 o'clock, that would have been the 12th, right? Which is right
13th.
here.
13th.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, 13th. All right. So we're here, right? We're here at this one. So let me get rid of these here. Right, get rid of those there. Right, get rid of that. So we're on the 13th at 3 a.m. in the morning. So then I'm gonna drop down to 15, right? And that's right here, right? Right here.
Yep.
There you go. There you go, right here. Boom. That's 10 pips right there.
And you say you enter off the 15-minute time frame.
Right. The candle, but look at the candle. What the candle give you?
Pro algo on, just so that they see.
They give you,
That's almost 4 days right there.
If you go
Look-
down
look
to the
what-
5 minutes, it'd probably have a sell.
Oh yeah.
You probably have to configure it. But what do you notice?
Yeah.
What do you notice? With the 1 minute,
drop.
look at that. Boom. Look at this. Look at that. See that? You can't make this stuff up, man. Does anyone know the meaning of an algorithm?
Yes.
Not to be mean, just you know, just ask the questions. Because I didn't know what it meant when I
Yes.
was first trading this. I was dumb. I felt dumb. So I'm just letting you know that people that on the call, they feel like they don't want to ask questions. I felt dumb. It's like the guy was
Right,
talking.
right.
I'm like, what the hell is an algorithm? He
Well,
said, "Do you
I'll give it a shot.
go? Yeah, go.
So what I believe it to be is basically a program that is used based on specific data to produce a specific outcome.
Basic. Yep. I would agree with
Yes,
that.
yeah, you broke it down. You broke it down.
So here is my template for this here. What would you say is going on in this template here? What would you say?
I couldn't even tell. I was about to say the same thing. A lot of stuff, man.
Okay, so
Stop
let's
on-
take the
stop on
stuff
high
off.
drops.
Let's take the stuff off. If I take the stuff off, this is all my stuff I have in here, right? What do you see that's going on here? Reversal. I may got little
Stop on
pips here and
high
there.
drops. Mhm.
You got support and resistance,
Right. You see what this says here? Can you read that?
untested resistance. Wow.
So what does that mean?
That means that's a place where the market hasn't touched yet.
And if it touches there, which you did over here, right? If it comes up here, what does this mean? If it comes up here, what kind of candle pattern is that?
You see what kind of what?
What kind of candle pattern is that? What kind of price action is that?
That's an evening star. You can call it in the golfing, bearish and golfing, evening star.
Right, but if price comes back up here, what kind of price action pattern is that?
Would be a
Double top
dive is
or-
going up.
A double top, yeah, double top.
So if price comes down to 12,180, I'm selling it off.
Mm.
You see where it is now? See this right here? This blue? It says
Yeah.
untested support right here, right? This is, and you got an M30 support level right there, M30 resistance. You see where it hit right here? Hit perfectly right there.
Where
Where
are
it
you?
dropped.
Where are you? Where are you?
That's it, yeah.
So the algorithm is just basically, templates are just basically letting you know, like you said, way of trading and pattern and whatnot. So give me another day for this. Hopefully you see that you can get 10 pips in GJ I can go pick a random day someplace in the future, past, doesn't matter.
You can get it done with your eyes closed, really.
Yeah, I'm saying. Go
Now-
to the
Now,
1 hour
what I
time frame.
did notice about today, it wasn't a previous signal. So that's how I was tripping off of how you knew what direction to take.
Previous? What do you mean previous?
Well, there, just like the other day that you showed, you said, if you look at 1 o'clock, it said it was a buy that you could have taken prior to the
Yeah.
opening bell. But today there wasn't
Right.
a signal that popped up.
Okay, so let's look at that. So let's look at today's bell at 3 o'clock. What happened here?
Okay, I'm now based on that red wave up top, that
Yep,
looks like a resistance area.
Okay, so let me ask this question.
Yeah.
I would take everything off. What is this right here?
Rejection.
Okay, but what kind of candle is this right here?
Which one?
Isn't that a hammer?
It's a pin.
Okay. What does
Upside
this
down
mean?
hammer.
What does this mean?
Rejection.
The buyers are losing momentum.
It's a reversal signal.
Reversal signal. So
Price failed to go up. Yeah.
So without a pro algo, without resistance, if you just did this, you should know what this is. So
Yeah,
when
it's
3
time to
o'clock rolled
sell.
around, when 3 o'clock rolled around, it was time to sell. When this printed, it was time to sell. So if you would have came in and said, okay, you know what? This is this here, right? You see how this perfectly lands right on top of that?
Right.
See this?
Yeah.
Boom, right there. So this is resistance here. So I would have had this drawn way before this. So what is this here? This is a double top formation. So again, if you remember earlier, I was saying, my man's right here. Where did my man show up again? Here, right? This is double top formation right here. Because it showed resistance here. And did it break above that? No, it wicked above that. Do you see any candles breaking above from here? From here? Actually, well, my man could be anywhere here. This is his neighborhood, right? His neighborhood's right there. He got a big neighborhood, so he could be right here when it first touched right here, right? Right here. So between 10:45 July 11th and all the way over here, did you see a candle break above here?
No.
So what does that tell you?
It was bearish pressure.
Tells you that they don't want the market to go that far up.
Bingo. This is a strong, this really here is, I'm gonna call it strong AF. I hope people know what that means. Resistance zone. Some people don't know what that means, but as future, I guess, I don't know. Look at that, right? So when this price came, and this is another pattern here that you probably don't even know. I found out about
Open it up. Slide it over.
Where's ARC? Look at this. What's this pattern called?
Teacup.
Yep. That looked
Or
like
bowl.
that
Or
teacup.
bowl. Or bowl.
Everybody know that?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's that teacup pattern.
So what happens? This is before, I don't even know this over here. I'm just like saying, oh, okay, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Once it hit here, once somebody hit here, the price could have went the other way. It could have like, you know what? I'm going the other way.
Yeah. Could have made lower
Right?
lows. Right.
Right? Could have over here to take you out. And then eventually bring the market down. But you gotta be ready for that. When you're here at this level, you wait. But you saw no price up here. And then they gave you a pin. they gave you a candle pattern right here.
Yeah, they gave you what you needed for confirmation.
They gave you a double top. They gave you this. So I have this, right? So would you consider this to be trading naked?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on. Look at that. That hit, and look at the pin. The pin wicked right into the red. Look at that, right? So if you, that's GJ, right? So if you come to one of these other charts that have all the colors, right? Everything's pretty. Here, that. It's the same thing. You can bring all the indicators on and you can kind of go from there. So that's 15 pips right there, right? That's 10 pips. What time it dropped? At 3:15. You can pick any day at 3 o'clock, any day. You can go back to let's see. I'm gonna go back to a random day. May 20, 2019, the 7th. So okay, how about that? Let's see if it takes me back.
Now, will it let you go that far back since you're on a 15-minute time frame?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can go back. Here we go. Boom. Give it a minute to try to see if it works. TradingView is bugged out. It's so wonky sometimes. Where we at here? Oh, there we go. See? And then you got to find out where your boys are. You got to find out where they are. So that's the problem when you with these.
Right.
Let me hop to the 4-hour time frame because it's probably not. There we go. They're my people. See, somebody got to be looking around for stuff. Let's see. Okay, so let's pick a day. All right, what do we got? I said June something, whatever else. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so let's see. What's 3 o'clock? Right here. Oh, look at this. Boom. This is 1 right there, right? 1 o'clock. I just picked a random day, right? Boom. 1 o'clock right there, right? March 10th. So that's 4-hour time frame. Let's go to 1-hour time frame. See where my people at. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Let's see. I gotta see how far you gotta go back. But if you see a 4-hour candle going down, you'd assume that it's gonna be cool with a 15-minute time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So this candle here is a 4-hour candle, 1 o'clock. So it's 1 to 5. So how many pips is this 1-hour candle? Opens up here, 68 pips. Just need 10.
Wow.
Go to another 3 o'clock candle. Let's see. Give me a day, 3 o'clock, boom. That's 1 o'clock right there, right? So you think this is 10 pips? This candle here is 10 pips?
Sure.
It's 30. 10's here. Right? Right there. Right? That's what, a third of the candle? Pick another day. Any day of the week. There's 1 o'clock right here. Look at that. 1 o'clock right here, right? There's 1 o'clock candle right here. Boom. How many pips is that? Ooh, 68, right? So point of saying is that you can get 10 pips every day in GJ. So that's what I'm saying. Anybody else got anything else? I think we'll probably break out
So
here, man.
Jay,
3 hours. Yeah, what you got?
I've been
Talk to me.
I've been in and out of the Zoom because I had some other responsibilities.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
It's good.
basically, you're
Mike.
saying that at 3 o'clock,
Mhm.
when the candle prints, how do we determine which way it's going to go?
Well, let's break down the 15-minute time frame, and let's go back and look at because we have to look at the pre-market setup. We have to know what the hell's going on before we get to the 3 o'clock candle.
Okay.
So we have to know the breakouts. We have to know the price action at 1 or 2. That's kind of what I want to see. So I like to get my coffee at 2 o'clock and see what the market's doing between 1 and 3. Then I have an idea of how to trade it. So I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be the 15-minute time frame. It could be the 30-minute time frame. But I'd like to use the 15. So if I come down to if I come here, let's see. This is what 3 o'clock at? 3 o'clock is 9 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock right there. There's a green candle. So what this is what day is this? This is May 5th, 1 o'clock. So this is May 5th, 2022, at 1 a.m. So I'm going to drop down the 15-minute time frame, and I'm gonna look for this. I'm gonna look for this candle. So I'm gonna do May 5th, 2022, May 5th, and I'm gonna do 1 o'clock, right? Actually, yeah, May 5th, 1 o'clock, which is right here. Let's go to that.
Mm-hmm.
And voila, there we are. Okay, that's 1 o'clock right there. Now I'm doing my analysis, right? So what's my analysis say? You see what the pre-algo is already doing it for you a little bit, right? See that? See a little support there?
Mm-hmm.
And you see the little yellow, it drew it in for you. So I got that going on. We're good with that. So this is 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock comes around. I'm just trying to chilling. And then 2 o'clock rolls around here. So what would you say that's happening in this zone right here? You already got a zone, right? You got this zone right here and that zone right there. So you kind of know what's happening already, right? It's
Consolidating.
It's consolidating right now, right? This is consolidation right here.
Right.
Right. Let's break it down even more where you can see take this off, this off, this off. So let's see, that's consolidation right here. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Asian.
It
Yeah,
here.
right, Asian, right, okay.
So that's
No,
1 o'clock.
No, we beyond it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to go to 2 o'clock. It's right here. Right. Like that. So I'm at 2 o'clock right here. 15. 145. 15. It's consolidation all the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's at 3 o'clock. So let me take this off. Take this off. So what do I have? The candle that is 3 o'clock prints is right here. Actually right here. So what do I notice?
Golf.
This here, what kind of pattern is this?
Golf.
So without anything else, right? Without anything else, I got a bullish engulfing pattern right here. And what happened?
Went up.
Remember, this is a 15-minute time frame. So this is at 3. You had to wait a little bit. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
3:15,
Mm-hmm.
3:30. Once this candle here printed, remember, I need 10 pips. So if this is the zone here, right? Oh, yeah, right there. Then here's 3 o'clock. It breaks out of the zone. I got a little red candle, so I got to wait and see what happens. So once this candle printed here, okay, it has gonna have some drawdown here. Kind of go back up this way. But if you see that you have a bullish engulfing, so This is a retracement of GJ because GJ retraces. So
Mhm.
if you would have got in this trade here, you'd have been in some drawdown, but then you would have went back up. So
Yeah.
this is what happens when you're dealing with this kind of pair. It retraces a lot. You get huge retracements. So
Mhm.
you'd have to be okay with being in the red.
How
That's what,
many pips were that? How many pips was that retrace?
let's see, traces from here. You got in here,
Yes.
13 pip drop.
Not bad at all.
Then, so the 14 pip drop. And you would so you remember you got in here. So 10 pips is here.
Mhm.
If you took it all the way up, you would have had 40 pips.
Mhm.
You have to wait though. Get a little drop. You're gonna have some drawdown, man. That's just how the business works.
Mhm.
It's not all the way like that. It's just some days. But you have to be patient. This is a patient trade here. If you was a patient, you would have missed it out. 3 o'clock. So let's look at another 3 o'clock trade. And sometimes it doesn't come at 3 o'clock. We have to understand that.
Right.
Here's 3 o'clock right here. What do you bought this one? Look at that. That's 3 o'clock. But you would have had coffee and you would have seen it already. You'd been, oh, you know what? Look at this. This is 2 o'clock. You would have seen it already. Once it hit here, what kind of pattern is this? What kind of arrow is this? Nobody know what kind of?
Where are you?
This candle right here?
Is that teacup again?
This candle right there. What kind of candle is that?
Oh, that's a pen. That's yeah, that is a bullish candle. You expect price to go up after that.
So once you've seen this pen
Bullish
here,
candle.
you've seen this here, you know. But look what happened over here though. This long candle here, this is a long exhaustion candle right here.
Right.
This right here is
If
a
you go to a
pen.
lower time frame, that would be red. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, green.
Oh, that's nice. Choose another time. 3 o'clock here. Just pick a random day. 3 o'clock. Oh, look at this. 3 o'clock. Boom. There's 3 right there. We know about that. You would have seen, you would have this long pen here. What pen is that? Pen is at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And boom. So at 2 o'clock, you could have gotten this trade. You could have been done by 3 o'clock. You don't always have to wait till 3. I'm just saying 3 o'clock is when it moves. And then if you up between 2 and 3, 4, you'd have caught this one down here too. And you would have caught it into New York. This is a continuation. So you could have got this trade and you could have got in here and got your 10 pips, and then you would have had, and you could have did it for break even. So let's say you jumped in this trade and you put your stop loss here, right? 20 pips up there. And let's say your entry is here, right? So the trade goes off. So then you move your thing to stop loss, profit, break even, and you move it to profit to about what, 3 something? And you let it ride, and you wake up for 8 o'clock in New York and you put it in profit. But you only need 10 pips. You get 10 pips every day in DJ. You just have to back test it. See, you can pass your MFF with GJ all day, every day.
Are you going to do any London session Zoom calls this?
tonight.
On it tonight.
Yeah, and I'm just trading GJ.
Okay.
So if I don't see it set up on GJ, I'm not taking. I might look at GU, but I mean there might be some people I think. But I want other people to look at other things, because if you're looking at something else, then like I think one day me and Mike was on a call, and Mike said, "Yo, check out EU." And if this is not moving, if somebody else is moving, then we need to catch it. So sometimes but I'm saying, but you can get 10 pips every day with this. Doesn't matter what time you do it.
All right. What's GJ doing at the moment?
Let's see. Let's see what you're doing here. Now you are. Let's see. You are doing. Let's see. Got a downtrend of.
What's
Here.
it, 15? 15.
Downtrend
Okay.
now.
Okay.
This was at 10 o'clock morning. So I wasn't looking at GJ earlier, but that's where it is now. So let's see. So how would you prepare for this tonight? Well, got this line right here. So low right here, low right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a low, there's a high up here. There's another high up here. There. So I can draw a trend line from here to here. Like maybe one from here to here, like this, like that. Or if you want to, you could just do this. Draw a fibs from high. This is the high here, right? High. Come down to the low, right? So here, like that, right? So you don't have to put that paragraph. So I got so look at that right there. So I got to move here and move here. So you can see where it's going to go. You can extend these here, right? Let's see.
It's probably taking out those equals lows right there.
What's that?
It's probably taking out these equals lows you got right there.
Yeah, so I can come here and put this here like this. And you see it's a support level right now. It's a support zone right now.
Yeah.
So this is a level here. Right there. Level right there. So we just gotta wait, see what happens.
Jay, can I ask a question about this?
Yes.
I see the trades you take and then you post in the group, and I see that the lot sizes are practically the same as we have in Forex, but the results are very, very different. What do I don't know about the lot sizes in NAS or indices that are so different, the results, the profits that you get from it?
So you are looking to.
Because like you enter a trade like at 1.5 lot, and you get like 4K on NAS or US 30 or something like that, and you make like $500 on DJ, for example. It's a very big difference, and I just don't understand what is the difference between them.
Because the indices are different than Forex pairs and spreads are different.
Okay.
The way you calculate pips on Forex is different than the way you calculate pips and in the indexes, because they're like points. So they're a little different.
But the risk is the same. You risk the same amount of money on indexes or in Forex.
Yes.
Well, Jay, I think that I think what he's maybe trying to ask is that if you trade with a 1.5 lot on NAS and you trade with a 1.5 lot on the Forex, if it go against you in NAS, you're gonna lose a lot more money
Oh yeah.
than
Oh,
if you would, if you'd had that same
And the contrary is also true. If it goes in your favor, it makes a lot
absolutely,
more money too.
because
absolutely. However, until you kind of really get used to trading, you really want to keep your lot size really low when you're dealing with NAS, unless you got an account that can handle it.
Cool.
Because if it does go against you, it's going to be a great loss.
that's true.
Or a greater loss.
No, that's true.
And that's even riskier on prop accounts, right?
Yes. That's why you want to trade with slower accounts until you understand how they move. You have to know how they move before you trade not something else. So people trade new, you always should trade AU, EU, UJ, AU because they move slower. You can't, these pairs are volatile. DJ is volatile, but it moves, fast, and NOS moves fast too. So they're just different pair of risk.
So
See,
in
this
other
is what.
words,
Go ahead, Mike.
you start messing with NAS and US 30, boy, you playing with the big boys.
No, right.
And I'm not quite ready for the big boys. Although I did trade it yesterday.
Yeah, if I see a good setup, I'll share it. But
like Clint Eastwood said, in the Outlaw Josie Wells, a man's got to know his limitations.
Right. Yeah. That's true, man. You're right about that. Gotta know your limitations, man. Deep. It's deep, man. So anybody got anything else?
Do you apply any smart money concepts in your trading?
Say it again, please.
Do you apply any smart money concepts in your trading?
Yes, all the time.
Besides the basics of market structure that I see there, high highs and low lows, like order blocks or things like that. Do you keep an eye on them?
I keep it on everything. I use everything I can use because remember the market makers are trying to get you. So you need to have the upper hand. You're trading against the banks. You're trading against the hedge funds. You're trading against the big boys. So they got all the tools and we don't. So I have my tools. I got my colorful screens here and there. You see, I use everything I can. Oscillators, everything from Banner Pro, trend lines, double tops. Mike told me about 415s. I wouldn't even know nothing about that. If you get a double top on the 4-hour time frame, you get a double top on the 15-minute time frame.
Yeah, it's fractal.
That's probably 85% of the time true.
About the indicators, would you advise someone who's thinking about joining the team to leave the trigger push for the algo, like sell when it says sells and buy when it says buy?
You don't take all the sells, all the buys. You still have to look at, would you take the sell right here? Would you have taken the sell right here? The sell right here?
No, I can't see how many pips are in there, but probably not.
Probably not. It's 15-minute time frame. There's no way to take this sell right here. You took the sell right here? No. So sometimes you have to filter out the sells depending on what the market's doing. So the pro angle will help you filter the cells. So if you're a scalper or whatever it might be, day trader, you have to play with the settings to tailor make it the way you want it. So you can see how the cell come back, scalp, and you take it away. Day trading, take it away. So it depends on what kind of trader you are, what kind of trader you are. You range, you want to be a sniper trader, you know, you have to tailor make the indicators for your own personal things. The way I trade might not be the way you trade. I mean, people have told me, a lot of people told me your chart is colorful, but it works for me. But I can't say it's going to work for somebody else. But you can make it, to a point where it's easy for you to follow.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, Jay, it is colorful. I agree, it's colorful, but if you understand what every indicator does, you know, then it's just extra confirmation, really.
Yeah, that's what I really want, is extra confirmation. If I can get extra confirmation, then, you know, it's good. That's what I try to do. So, and then you can
That's what
take
I
off
was
things
thinking
here and
about
there.
joining.
You can take little things here and there. You know, bits and pieces of stuff, you know. So that's kind of how I look at it.
I personally trade EU, euro dollar, also on the 15 minutes time frame. And I basically apply a very naked smart money concept. And for what I see up until now, the indies are gonna be a very good confluence to my style.
Just took a sell on this here. See this was this today, but look at this. So you can see how the candles are playing around in the they call the FEGs. This is the order blocks. See how the resistance there, whatnot. Yeah, sell signal right there. See, 10 pips right now. Look at this. We've been on this call for a while now, almost 2-3 hours. Look at this. So this would have been 10 pips right here. 10 pips right here. How much you bet? 10 pips right here, from here to here.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 10, 16 pips right there.
Yeah,
and
for
if you have
this.
16 pips, what if this was your last day of trading? Boom. See, so it all works out, man. You just gotta apply it, man, and then, you know, go from there.
So are we having the 4-piece session this week?
I mean, that's what I use when I trade on London. I'll be using it with my other indicators.
Cool. On Friday then?
Would be tomorrow. Yeah, Thursday. In 5 hours, 6 hours. Anybody got anything else?
Just to thank you for the call on the NZD JPY earlier today. I got a few bucks on that.
Which one was that?
Stay on me.
Oh, which one was that?
The NZD JPY call that you gave.
Do you know
on
why?
the group.
Do you know why I called that?
If you want to show me, I would appreciate it.
Does anybody know why I called that? I could have said the sky's red. Would you believe that?
Probably.
No, come on, man. I'm just saying, we so serious, man. Gotta. If I called this, what I call was a sell. What was it? I forgot what it was.
A sell. It was a
Okay.
sell. Yeah.
It was a sell, yeah.
Okay, but why'd I call it?
Why'd you call it?
Right, that makes sense, right? I would want to know why I called it, right?
Right.
Somebody got paid. Miss Ty got paid. What time was that?
It was like 2 p.m. around 2 p.m. or something.
I can tell you the exact time. Hold on. buddy.
Here it is right here. I called it 11:41 this morning.
Oh no, but you did it again later, I guess.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Yes, it was for your time. I'm in Brazil, so it's a different time frame. Sorry.
Oh.
Took it out.
So, but you can see that it was going down, right? A little bit. Where's this out here? They're going down. They're going down here, right? Just. Oh, the DJ call was good too. It broke a trend line. But it was actually going down. See? Here. It was up in here somewhere. Broke this is my 20 here. Might know about that 20, 200.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what this is the 20, see? So
That
this
is.
up here. Had everything, this is up here. Then it broke down. Broke my little trend line here. Came back to retest the candles with the 20, and then it's been going down ever since.
Yeah,
It's back to retest the 20 right now.
You closed it too early.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Jay, how do we get access to that Discord group you've been referencing during this Zoom?
I can send you an invite.
Is that a cost associated with that?
Not to join the group, but to get the indicators, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I could do right here. This is the invitation here. Put it in the chat. Invitation right there. So you can I mean, I always tell people to check stuff out, man. It may be for you, it may not be for you. It just
Oh yeah, I'm already in that one. Yeah.
works for me, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else? But yeah, I'll be, like I said, see what's doing now, see? It's broke my trend line, see that? So if you can get 10 pips tonight right now if you want to. What's this here? What's this? What this? Not that. Let's see. Not that. No, what there? This is how many pips is this from here to here? You got 10 right now. Look at that. See that? That's the candle right there. It's 12 pips right there. This candle right here. The one we just drew. That's 10 pips right there. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, you can kill it, man. You should be. Prop firms is easy to pass these days. All you gotta do is just trade what you see, not what you feel.
Yeah, that's
Ready
true.
to go. Ready to go, man. Look at this. Ready to go. That thing's gonna come. I tell you right now, it's a trade idea right here. Trade idea is gonna come. Look at that. All the way up here to the golden zone. There's the golden zone right here.
Huh.
Right in here. The golden zone is right in here. Right there.
That's GJ.
That's the high probability zone. So how many pips is that?
Quite a bit. At least 40. Isn't it?
Here. Open here. So if this breaks 23.6, if this candle here is 3 minutes ago, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna hang out till 3 more minutes left. If this candle breaks and retests, I'm jumping this trade. That's enough for me with no indicators, no nothing. If this candle breaks this 23.6, it's trying to, you see it's trying, it's working it, right? It's trying right now. See, well, it's trying, but I have to break this 23.6. But it's at a reversal spot here, see? So has to clearly break, has to clearly break 23.6. If it doesn't break 23.6, then I gotta wait until it does. And right now it's not. So let's see what the 5-minute time frame says. The 5-minute time frame says something different. Okay, well, you got some other pivots here a little bit. But I traded 15-minute time frame, so I have to wait till it breaks. Or you could wait till it hits in the golden zone. If price gets up here, I'm selling off. Golden zone here, right? Price gets up in this area right here, I'm selling off. That's a no-brainer right there, right? If it gets in here, you're selling off. It's going to get to this point by 3 o'clock. Would you agree? Gets up here, you're selling off. So you're just going to maintain it. I don't need to watch the charts till 2. I just watch them till now, and then once it gets around 2 o'clock, you get there. But if it gets into between that zone and selling off, because what's going to happen is you're going to get to this trade, and you're going to be here. See, you're going to get this trade, and you're going to be slapping 8.24 on this. Are you okay with being in drawdown 200 hours? That's going to make or break the people. Most people can't take drawdown. They can't take the red. My man Q Bank said you must be able to handle the red. If you can't take drawdown, then your skin's not thick enough. Everyone wants to go 50 to 5K, but can they do it mentally, emotionally, and physically? Because this stuff gets rough, man. This gets rough. So, anybody else?
Got a minute for the candle close. Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Minute.
So who would take this trade if it closes above 21.3, 23.6? So did it close above 23.6?
Can you guys see that this was the last sell before breaking that structure over there?
Yeah. So what did it do? Look what it's doing. You can get 10 pips right now. What's this? That's DJ? What's that? What is that?
DJ?
What the hell is DJ then? Damn it. Too many damn pairs, man. I don't even mess with these pairs. Oh, look at this. Ooh, nice. It's the same thing with that. See, it went up. Anyway, I'll come back to it. That's what you got. Oh, see, it's coming back to that pair. Like, come back to that coming back. You would think I would know what these pairs are, right? Here it is right here. Boom. I didn't realize that. And we've got well, you could have got 10 pips off that first candle. But like I said, things retrace. So you gotta take it all in stride. I probably wouldn't trade it in here anyway, because it's not at a major support and resistance level. You want to trade
Right.
it, you want to trade it 0 to 100.
I see.
That's what you want to trade right in here. That's what you want to trade at. Either in here or here or there. This is in the middle of no man's land, so I probably would have taken that trade.
Hmm.
But you know,
So Jay, if it does go up, you thinking that by London.
London should push. The market should be at least up near 163, 600. And actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this up here for now. I'm not
Okay.
gonna delete it.
I'm screenshot it.
But it should be here.
Mhm.
That's where it should be, in here, I would think. Or
Yeah.
it could be down here. But that's where I want to enter the market. I want to enter the market right here. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to enter at support zones and resistance zones. So support zone there. Boom. And my other one's over here. Boom.
Hey Jay, I got a question.
Yeah, what you got?
Right around that golden zone where you got it coming back down. Is that the order block? And if it is, why isn't the price all the way up top, not the order block?
This is the order block up here.
Right.
This is one down here. This here is just on the fibs. It's just what they call the golden zone. What it is a high probability area for a reverse, and
Right.
it could be a order block because if you look at it, you've got an order block inside of an order block. So you've got like this small area right here. Actually, where's it at? Right here, because you got kind of like a continuation of here. You see, so you've got an area right here that's kind of an order block here. See that? What I'm getting there?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
Is it an order block?
overlaps. Yeah, it overlaps this. The reason why this is an order block here is because there was a major move to the downside from the upside. So it came up here and it created this pen, which is right here. So this here is a 15-minute order block right here. 15-minute order block. Right in here. Based
Now,
on
is it?
this. Based on this. So this here overlaps this little golden zone here. So that. So this kind of gives me a double confirmation that there's a big chance that this could reverse in this area here.
Okay, so that's a 15-minute order block based on the fact that it broke structure to the left. And the two high highs to the left, or the two double tops to the left.
Right.
Because it broke below them. It broke what once was resistance. Now because it broke under it, it's now support.
Yeah.
When it comes back up. Okay. Okay. And that's what made it up.
You have another one here. See that? Right here. See that? This is a teeny weeny one right there. You see that? With these two candles
but
here.
I don't know. Right. Oh, I see. Okay.
Can you see these little two candles here? This one.
Right.
This one here. Make it smaller. See. This one. This candle here is the candle before the move. And this candle here, those two candles make an order block. Candle before the move. Where's the candle before the move? This one.
Right.
And this one. So I took the wicks of the candle before the move, the body, which is here. Okay. And this is a 15-minute order block right here. This one, this, not that. But
So the order blocks are actually the wicks.
I
A
can't. Yeah, I
smaller
take the
order block
body.
is
I take the
actually the
body
wicks.
and the wicks. Yeah, the body and the wicks. Yeah.
Okay, and that zone right under that. I thought the whole thing was kind of like the order block in terms of the green anyway, the green candle.
This one here.
That,
This.
yeah, what's that, right? I mean, yeah, that little, yeah, that rectangle box.
This one here. This one.
Yeah, why is that not the order block? Or why?
Because sometimes you can have order blocks on top of order blocks.
Mhm.
Sometimes order blocks will overlap other order blocks. Because you've got these double tops over here.
Mhm.
The double tops over here, I just extended the double tops over here
Mhm.
into all this traffic over here. So
Okay.
you've got this set up here from the golden zone, and this order block here just overlaps it.
Okay.
So what this is telling me is that this is like a double confirmation of a strong area that price could actually reverse.
Reverse from, okay, resistance,
Right.
yeah.
Because if it comes up here, this is a triple top. I got one here. If I got a candle anywhere up here, anywhere in here, right? If I got a candle here, let's say I got a candle here. Ain't that a triple top? One, two, three. Because it dipped in this zone.
Oh,
it's in
okay.
this zone. It's in this zone.
Gotcha.
So it's in this zone. If it comes in here, this is a sell zone.
Gotcha.
If a candle, if he comes in here, he probably gonna drop. Unless he probably gonna drop. If he comes here, what are you expecting? To go up.
All right.
You want him to at least go up to the golden zone here. This is where the high probability of a reversal is going to be. So, but if we go back in time and look at that, is that the way it is? Well, let's go back. Let me go back and extend this. So this goes to show you if this is going to be a good zone or not. And is it? Yeah, it is, right?
Yes, sir.
Reversal here. Reversal here, rejection, right?
Yeah.
Go back in time, it plays both support and resistance. Support here. Drop here. This is just choppiness. Drop right here. Drop right here at the bottom of it. Drop right here. When last time I've been up this way? Right here. This shows support. So you know if it breaks above here and retests, it's going up.
Right.
So if I come back over here to where we currently are, right? It all depends on what it's going to do. If it break above 163,705 and retest, I'm taking it up to 16400 or at least 78.6. These are levels. You take each level.
Okay.
So if it breaks here, if it breaks above here, and it retests, then I'm taking it up to the next level of 78.6. And it could bounce off and go down here. But if it break 163,879 retest, I'm taking it back up to this one up here.
Okay.
So that's how I play that. That's how I play that. That's how we're playing this.
Got you.
So then it could come here. So we don't know what's going to happen. These are just possible routes. Let's see, it came back down here to the zone here. See how it did that? It came back down here. So I said, oh, well, if it broke above 20.6, so this would have been a loss if we took this trade here. But I probably wouldn't have taken this trade because we would have wanted it from a strong support zone.
I see.
It's right here. So this is kind of how I would see it's going. And look, it's coming back down here. You see right there. If it don't break, it needs to break below 163.062. So then it has to be down to the downside. So it has to break here. has to retest.
Mhm.
Then it's gonna fall to -27, which is down here.
Mhm.
What you see that it may not go that far because it got some wicks down here, see?
Okay. Right.
Rejection.
I see.
And I got some more rejection over here. See?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So you gotta look at that here. So this is TP1,
you know, I've been
TP2,
looking-
TP3.
Okay.
And you might get some stuff here too, see?
Right. Right.
So these are TPs, TP1, 2, 3, and 4.
Mhm.
See?
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep this here because I like to keep drawings. Sometimes you can erase them. But this is what's gonna do. That's what I think it's gonna do. It has to one of these things. And look what's happening. It's bouncing off this zone here. See that?
Mhm.
So
I just put a buy limit order on 163.12.
yeah.
I
And it
broke
might
it
get
down to
yeah.
the M1 chart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And showed me like a small order block on the M1 chart. And I set this order there. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
To the up until that golden area that you marked there.
Yeah. So and this would have been the trade here to be in. You would have got in here and you would have held it all the way down here and it got out.
Mhm.
Or you would have held it and then you would have got back in here at a retracement up here at this order block. So we got all the order blocks already set up already. So now we know, see? So you know if it comes into any of these areas, you should be ready to trade it automatically.
Mhm.
See, it didn't even make that far. See, it didn't even go that far. It went to here. It came up here someplace. Right? It didn't get that far.
I think it's still going there. It's just taking its breath.
Right. This is the retracement of the upside. So then you can move the trend line over, right? Like this. And then try to go from there. See what you got. But that's what I got, man. But other than that, I'm a bounce.
Appreciate all your time and your knowledge.
Yeah, man. It's all good. We're trying to see. We're trying to enumerate the people, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
All right. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna post this. I think it's a 3-hour video, and I hate editing crap, man. So
Hey, man, we get the next one. We catch the next one because this one is long.
it's long. Yeah, it's a lot of knowledge, man. A
We
lot of
catch the
information.
next one, bro.
Yeah, man.
Maybe
Awesome
you can record the
session,
next
man. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll post it.
Hey, you done
It's
did
a
enough
3-hour
work.
video.
You done did enough work for one day, man.
Yeah. I have to take a break.
That's Yeah, appreciate you, man. Get some rest.
Yeah, man. I'll catch you at 3.
Okay.
All right.
See you, John.
Good night, y'all.
All right, gentlemen and
All right,
ladies.
man. Later.